I believe that we have not been given the space to talk about things outside of sport, whereas other people have, specifically men, can have entire shows where they literally talk about what kind of butts they like. They talk about the kind of women they like. They talk about the men that they hate by name. And women have not been given this space to be able to just speak. Now, granted, we would not do any of those things, but it's the fact that we haven't had the place to even have the opportunity to do those things.
I think the misconception about what women actually talk about, particularly women who are in kind of the same spaces, who are in the workplace, who are dating, who are married, whatever, like we just have things going on. We aren't sitting around just talking about housewives, which sometimes we do, or our nail color, which sometimes we do, but sometimes we're also talking about our childhood trauma, and sometimes we're talking about business, and sometimes we're talking about deep cultural things that influence how we feel about ourselves and the patriarchy. Anyone who is friends with me knows at some point in the dinner conversation, I'm going to bring up the fucking patriarchy. I'm just going to do it. We're going to get to a conversation about that because that's really who I am. And that there's not a space that I've had to express that part of things. But also I think it's important that these are our group chat conversations. Like we are checking in with each other on real shit and having elaborate, intense, poignant, intelligent, developed conversations. There isn't something that for me allows that in the way that I want to do it. And I don't have a platform to do that. So that was part of the reason why.
Street, we in the building, baby. What's up with you?
What's going on, bro? I'm chilling, man.
Good. Hey, man. We back in the U.S. Virgin Islands, man. One of our favorite restaurants, favorite views. And I think we got an exciting show today. This is kind of a part 2 of yesterday. And so we good to go, man. So how's everything going with you, man, before we jump right into this deal?
Oh, I'm chilling, man. Through today, man. When they got me some Misha cookies, bro. I'm chilling, man. I'm gonna get up here, man. I'm chomping and talk some trash, man. And late last night, we had a surprise for the Kane fans. I mean, I don't know. We 8 years out from the surprise, but University of Miami offered an 11-year-old late last night. It got me to working late last night. I had to go post that up, and we'll talk about that a little later. But I think they're right on this one. I think, when you see it first, you got to jump on it.
Well, 8 years out. So what are you about? 5th grade?
11.
Yeah, about 6th grade.
Yeah, we mic'd him up last year. He was coming off an injury. He had 6 touchdowns this weekend, 5 on the run and a pick 6.
I ain't WRE. He about 8 years away from being WRE, though. I'm gonna break him down in about 8 years. You know what? I might break him down if he got a huddle tail. I might bring him down and see what he's talking about, man. We might we might add a little wrinkle to the case. The fact you up here with milk and cookies with a pink hat on, we got to talk after the show, dog. But
I got my pink hat on. Yeah, I got my pink hat on in honor of really flower back here. So I want my women pink. Now watch you come here and say they call it ass gray. You think every woman like pink straighter?
So we're gonna find out real quick. But let's kind of recap yesterday before we bring Really Flawed on, because a lot of people heard her voice, may not have seen her face, but she's here in person today. And we'll talk to her and all that. But let's kind of recap. Yesterday it started off because we were talking about Tony Harris, who is the first female non-kicker to receive a full scholarship to Central Methodist, which is a school in Missouri, NAIA in Missouri. And then we went on and you spoke about your friend of yours. I think it's her. She goes by All 32 NFL. She does skits and different things and talks about NFL football and the sort in that way. And then, of course, the conversation spawned into women and dress and Yoki Stirrup and all of those kind of things, man. So what do you got to say about that before we bring up our guest?
No, I think it's an interesting conversation. And I think what we started with, the podcast we started with Joy Taylor and Rooks, I think they kind of, when you watch them on their podcast, they kind of vibing, chilling, how women chill with their legs all up on the couch. And I think they're flirting with exactly what we're talking about, is the power of women in sports. Like, could they take that thing that they have and really insert it into sports?
Yeah,
So
because we talked about
conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it'll be an excellent conversation because we talked about it yesterday, and I think we had the viewpoint of saying, we talked about the Players Club quote, right? Use what you got to get what you want. If you got it, flaunt it, right? Use it, insert it, because we talked about different avenues of life. Advertisement companies do that. They use, particular things on purpose. They do research and studies on what causes people to buy things. Like I said yesterday, I could be up here with my shirt off holding up the newest iPhone. I ain't gonna sell no iPhone. But if you go get the dude that's all chiseled up, I got a 6-pack too. It's just underneath this keg. But I'm just simply saying here that there's a reason things are done the way they are. And then maybe some people have pushed back, maybe not. We'll see her opinion on it and we'll go from there. But I guess, let me see if I could get this right without further ado. Unless you got something else to say about that, and then we'll push on.
No, that's right.
Y'all clap it up for Really Flawed in the building.
Sweatshirt 24, baby.
Hey, think about it. You got Sweatshirt 24. We got Hot Cooler 24s. I mean, it's the year to vote. Let's make it happen.
So I just want to say, I think it's absolutely hilarious that you associate pink with women, but whatever.
Wow. So I ain't even close,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
So all those I'm sorry. So all those gender reveals, they got it wrong.
I'm just kidding. But listen, I am here to stand on business for women and to give people understanding about why we might do the things that we do, because I think so many times people see women from their perspective and from how they think women are doing things and why they think women are doing things, and that might not always be the case. So I'm here to give background about what it is really like to be a woman and why we don't do some things and why we do other things. So that is what I'm here for. And what did Ellen say? Put me in the center. Put me in the middle.
In the middle. Hey. Well, here's a perfect example, Street. I was trying to be considerate for two reasons. One, I didn't want to have her sandwiched between two guys. And two, I don't know.
I don't mind being sandwiched between two men.
Speak for yourself. There you go.
Different show.
Because I feel like if we would have been, if you put it in the middle, well, why I got to sit in the middle? And hold on. And we know if you from, I'll just say Miami is probably like this everywhere, but that middle seat has a certain name, and you know how that go, right? I didn't want to put it in the middle seat because you know what we call the middle seat at the crib, right? Street, it's up to you. You say it, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, put me on your spot then. Put me at the beginning.
I'm gonna try. Let's see if I can switch all around. Here you go. There you go. That's perfect. So, Really Flawed, since you between two men, what you got to say now?
The same thing I was saying before.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, but really, so I feel like yesterday, first of all, kudos to both of you for even wanting to have the conversation, because I think that's where we go wrong oftentimes is we don't even try to even understand. We're just she's not doing this. She should do this. She should be this. So kudos to you guys saying, let's talk about it.
All right, real quick before we jump on.
Oh, by the way, any super chats that happen in this hour while I'm live, you guys will never hear it down. If you guys get a ton of super chats, you will never hear the end of it from me. So
that started already.
And if we get the super chats, it truly shows y'all power, because we don't get super chats like that. We get maybe $6. Shout out to Bishop yesterday. He blessed us, and he blessed us again this day. And he says, "Candy girl, you are my world." You understand?
Oh, shout out to Bishop.
that ain't had nothing to do with us, hey?
See, nothing to do with us. So,
wait a second. Let me be right back. I have an Amazon delivery. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Well, while she's doing that, shout out to Bishop Newkirk, 333. And only a woman can come on a live show, interrupt the show, and say, I got an Amazon package, and it'd be all right. Because if we did that, we'd probably be in trouble. But, I get it. But Bishop Newkirk for the 333, again, I love these numbers. I wonder if they represent anything, 333, 555, so forth and so on. But appreciate you, Bishop Newkirk, for that. But while she's gone, let's kind of set the stage a little bit where we want to go. We saw Joy Taylor.
She's back. My Amazon package arrived.
That was fast.
A little bit more than Amazon package arrived.
Package arrived. She's here.
Uh-oh.
I got my package. Came back.
What was in the package?
Which
apparently there were two packages. There were two packages arrived.
Two packages arrived.
The package arrived. She's here. What are we talking about today, guys?
Yeah. Let me see.
What? I don't know.
One full body. What we got going on? Let me see the outfit. What we got going on?
I don't love my whole.
What was the topic?
Oh, it's top. What was what? The top. The what?
What was the topic?
Oh, topic. Oh.
I just needed to change my outfit.
No,
that just came. That's Fashion Nova. That's Fashion Nova. It just came to Amazon.
Package is here. Package is here.
No, packages have arrived. All right, here we go.
We got another dono. You know the dono is gonna come out. Nah.
$2. Trump 24.
The money gonna come out. Trump 2024. God bless. What the hell?
Yeah. So, all right. And again, there you go. IP.
Hey,
I am distracted.
You wanted me. You got me. So what's up? What are we talking about?
So let's go.
All right. So here we go. So let me take a sip of my cane juice. Hold on. All right. Okay. Dog, here we go. We can't get through the show. Brian Sinan really got them boys stuck up there.
Let's talk about women in sports.
All right, let's talk about it. Okay, so we kind of talked yesterday, kind of lead this off. Maybe we could backtrack, but let's kind of put some tape with Reggie for the $2. What? I thought it was 20, Reggie, but you're missing a zero, brother. But I got you. Real quick, we talked about it, and we were talking about dress. We were talking about the young lady that Street had on all 32 NFL, and we were talking about her attire, and her being and her presenting, her information, but being I would say classy / sexy, but not necessarily revealing or whatever. What's your thoughts on that as a woman in a media space where you don't have to have a turtleneck up to here in the big sweatshirt, but yet still get your point across?
So I think that presentation matters. And I think that people decide how they want to present information, and the clothes are secondary to that. I also think it takes a lot of time to get sexy and a lot of time to get ready and to get prepared. And so sometimes you don't want to get ready and get prepared. I think when you're on TV also, you're almost playing a part, and they have wardrobe and they have things for you. Whereas the average everyday woman doesn't have all of those things. Oh, you want me to pause so you can get those super chats off? Go for it.
Mr. Franklin D. Newkirk, man, really flawed. He put some eyes, and he put, I guess, I don't know what that is, a thumbs up.
All right, now, Bishop.
And $2 from Reggie. Reggie just said, "The." $2 more from Reggie. He said, "Actual." Reggie got a damn puzzle going on here.
So Reggie's doing it like this. For $2, what in the actual hell? He gonna make up his $20 with 10 comments.
Listen, if you want me to show up and talk about women, I'm going to show up and talk about women.
What actually do you have on? What is it, a dress?
Wouldn't you love to know?
I'm right here. I'm keeping my eyes up. You know how they say up here, Hayes. Yep, my eyes up here. But anyhow, so okay, I get where you're coming from with that, right? And part of the appeal, in my opinion, is that, right? The joy.
You missed the super chat. I'm sorry. It just made me laugh.
I know we missed one.
The insane DW.
New package.
Hold on, really thought. Is this how when you go live on your page, is this how it goes?
So I haven't went live on my page in a long time, for a multitude of reasons, but also my channel's not monetized. So I need more watch hours. So who knows? Maybe when I get monetized, I'll have my first show and I will show up sexy AF.
Are you close?
Maybe.
Because I need push you there.
Yeah. Get me there so you can see more. So I need like about 600 more watch hours to reach my first level of monetization. So if you're watching this and you want to see that live where I come dressed up and ready, go watch all my content in the background, just let it play and just do everything. Do the things, do all the things, just watch it in the background for 4 days. Just watch all my content.
Because that's something, not bragging or nothing, but that's something because I have all the followers. Like when we started Kane's, when we started the then Kane page and separated from Footballville, it was monetized in like a month. It's because we push so much traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So no, maybe we could push her there. Maybe we have a day or two where she come on here and she bring the twins, and it'll be monetized in no problem. It'll be monetized in no time.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, just go listen to all of my stuff.
So we're going to take everybody to 105 and climbing. They're going to go over there and make it happen. But we keep I don't think we can get through any segment with the donos. So ready for a $2. This segment is sponsored by Fashion Nova and Bishop again. Fire. Smoke new delivery. Jumbo is fire. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to show up as fire.
So real quick. Yeah, we're going to put the link in there.
But LV got it. She already over it.
LV on it. LV right there. She already on it. But real quick, Pilo said, what's the channel? He got it right there. So you guys could check that out. LV has it there. Go click that link, go over there and subscribe and come back. And Reggie for the $2. If she's looking for a babysitter for the twin. See.
I just subscribed to her channel, Albert. This is crazy.
And I ain't never seen an Albert Gonzalez on here before.
Now you see why yesterday I said there it is. It's gonna get out of hand.
Don't clap it up. Don't clap it up.
It done got out of hand. It done goddamn got out of hand. No, you got an actual porn star on the page. It didn't go down like this.
It didn't.
Remember XO Girl?
On the YouTube takeover, she was actually a porn star.
We brought on the page and it didn't go down like this. What the hell is
going on? Animal. The dog said animal.
Animal we had on the page. Like one of those. And it didn't go down like this.
Oh, man. $100, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you, old man. I appreciate you.
No, they appreciate you.
Well, at the end of the day, too, they're helping me talk trash to both of you. Because you will never live this down.
No. We're not gonna live this down. But again, all right. Okay, real quick, let people know your channel.
To the question. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna real quick.
Let's do that. Okay, so my channel. Okay, so my channel is really flawed. That is my channel. I talk about sports and I also kind of brain dump. So sometimes there's a topic or something that's hot that I just want to talk about. And so I make a video and talk about it. And so it's really flawed. I'm an NFL girl at heart. So I love all things NFL. Obviously love college football too. So I talk about Colorado Buffaloes. I talk about Texas Longhorns. My Steelers is my NFL team. So I just do a ton of things over there that's fun. I have conversations with other people. I'm obsessed with how people are fans and things like that. So that's what I do on my YouTube channel. I'm thinking about moving in a specific direction, but I haven't yet decided exactly what that is. So yeah, so that's my channel, Really Flawed. It's fantastic. My Twitter is linked on there because a lot of people are like, what's your Twitter? What's your Twitter? My Twitter is linked on there as well. So if you want to find me on Twitter, you can. And so yeah, that's where I'm at. And it also, somebody asked me for my Cash App. I don't have my Cash App posted. If you want my Cash App, it is my name that is on my Twitter account. And if you don't know what that is, that's not my problem. You'll figure it out.
$ Coach Hayes Football is the Cash App. I'm a paymaster. I pay out.
Cash App is my Cash App is my Twitter name. So there it is.
So Really Flawed, did you know this was going to go down like this? Does this make you want to get those watch hours real off fast? This is crazy, Hayes. Hey, we knew we were at a disadvantage, right? And we were pissed off that women don't want to actually go out there and cause wreckage and traffic. You know what I'm saying? But we get a first-hand view of how disadvantaged we are, Hayes.
And it goes to show you, we thought we was coming in 2-on-1 and it ended up being 3-on-2. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why we at a disadvantage. Brian sent out for the 1 and the 9. Really Flawed. Got the fellas in here fiending. Reggie, Google Man is going to be sick that he missed this. And you know Google Man is. Hey, Google Man shot his shot off of a thumbnail. He was like, bruh. My man say, could you come? Hey, Google Man say, Really Flawed, could you come tutor me on my speech? And he was ready. And LMV for the 49. Flawed Out Fridays. With Really Flawed. There's an idea. I love it.
Nice. I like that, Ellen. Listen, when I get monetized, Ellen, I will do that on a Friday and I will call it that just for you.
J Dub says I subscribe to make sure I get notification when she go live. So here we are. Okay, let's go back. Let's try to get through this because we already 25 minutes in and we ain't even started talking about
nothing. Ain't nothing went down.
Oh, it went down and up. But what I'm saying is,
anyway, just out of respect, I'm gonna keep that.
Oh, for sure. Yo, most definitely. Thank you. But here's what I'll say. So we talked about that. We talked about dress. We talked about, again, the young lady, all 32 NFL. I believe that's her handle on, I think it's YouTube or Facebook and Twitter.
Right.
However, we also brought up people like Yoki Stirrup. She's the one who does the gun channel. The female, she wears the tight clothes and so forth. And I think we were kind of talking about dress and using that influence to garner eyeballs to your channel to get the information out. Because when you walking into a male-dominated space, just call it what it is, I think me and Street can speak for himself, but we feel like use what you have to get the eyeballs there, then they will listen to the information. If that makes sense. Do you agree or disagree? And Street, if I put words in your mouth, then go ahead and correct me.
No, that's about right. Go ahead, Really.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I think especially for me, like I pick and choose. Like I showed up today in a hoodie just because. And I think for me, I know that sex sells. I also know that it's an advantage. And I don't always use that advantage because sometimes I don't want to. So I don't. But I hear you. But like I said, when I go live or whenever, I'll use that advantage. But I also think that there's a part of me that is a business woman in terms of like, I don't get to be this. And so I'm used to kind of being buttoned up and I'm used to presenting to CEOs and I'm used to being very whatever. And so sometimes I think my worlds don't collide correctly. And so that's me, but it's not because I don't want to. I can show up in every video I create and look like this. I just choose not to.
Okay. Street, any questions?
You choose not to. And to us, that's what I was saying yesterday about A game. I feel that it's part of your A game. It is a talent that you have, and it's a talent that women have. And when you say, I don't feel like bringing my A game, that's why my comment yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, Really Flawed, you must be afraid of success."
Oh.
But is it just the because women can be complicated? You know what I'm saying? Like, so is it just the complication side of women? Like,
Okay,
bring
let's
your
not
A
call
game.
women. Let's not call women complicated. We're different. Okay,
They're different.
we're different. I think it takes time. It takes time. For example,
Okay.
it takes time for me to look this way, and I don't wear makeup, so it would take me 2 minutes to pick out a hoodie, put on sweatpants, and hit play to record something. This takes time. And sometimes I don't have the time, but I have something I want to say. And so I think it depends on what you're going for. So if you said, "Hey, I want to take you out on a date." Okay, I'm going to take time to get ready for the date. But
when you say this takes time, what are we looking at that takes time?
It takes time, like to get your outfit together. What kind of jewelry do you want to wear? How do you want your hair to be? Do you want to wear glasses? Do you not want to wear glasses? Are you going to do your hair up? Are you going to do your hair? Like, what makes it all look good? What kind of shoes am I going to wear?
I think what we're looking at it as, it's no different than you going to work. When you go to work,
it is different though. It's different because like I'm here right now, right? I had to make sure that my boobs weren't going to pop out on live. If I'm going to work, I don't have to worry about my boobs popping out because I'm not going to wear something that if my boobs pop out, it would be a problem.
Right, but we're talking about preparation. I'm just talking about the preparation. Like when you go to work, what we're saying is, I don't think you go to work with just a hoodie on, even though you may not have that, but you do have to pick out the outfit, the jewelry, the accessories, the hair, that
not
whole
as much.
process.
Not as much. It's different. Yeah, it's different. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm like, there's different stages to women. There's like going to sleep woman. There's getting ready for work woman. There's going to the club woman. There's showing up for this woman. There's going, like there's different things that we dress up for, and different things take different times. They just do. It's effort.
Okay.
You know what I think? I think there's a level of sexiness, right, that women have. And I think you guys think in order to get sexy and dolled up, it takes time. Because I don't think a lot of times you understand how women understand how men see them. I bet you I could dress you, right, in 10 minutes and it gives off the same sexiness, right? But you didn't have to put on all the makeup, or you didn't have to pick out accessories, or you didn't have to, because sometimes when you guys always say, "I went to the store the other day, my hair wasn't done," and the guy still tried to holler at me. That's y'all can say that for 30 years, and it never clicks in your brain that we don't see you the way you think we see you.
Right.
Well, but what doesn't click in you all's brain is if you dress me, that doesn't mean that I like it or that I'm going to be as confident as when I dress me. Because to me, to be sexy, you have to have confidence. You could put me in something that you think is so sexy and it could take me 3 minutes to get ready. And you could be like, she looks sexy. And I could not be feeling it. And I've lost my confidence. Because in my opinion, I think being sexy also is about confidence. How do you carry that? How do you carry being sexy? Because it's not just like a sexy outfit is a sexy outfit, but I could wear something that might not be sexy on somebody else. But if I'm rocking it with and I'm more confident, it's going to look sexier on me because I'm bringing more than just the outfit is sexy.
Yeah, no,
that's a good take. That's a good take. That's a good, and that's a side of it that that we can't.
But I do think that sometimes, and I get where you're coming from, but just proving yesterday when you called in, your voice alone had the dogs riled up. Like they so what to your point is what you believe or what creates your confidence, I totally understand. But just a little bit of something goes a long way in our eyes, right? Just a little bit of something. I don't think there's one episode. I don't care what Joy Taylor or Rooks has on. It doesn't matter. They're like, Twitter. Like the comments alone, right? If I could scroll back up to when you just had the sweatshirt on, some dude was like, "Oh man, look how sexy she is in that sweatshirt." However, this does accentuate what you all have. And I think to kind of tie it back into the sports and media piece and growing channels and where I definitely believe what women have an advantage in growth. That's their the sexiness appeal and all of that. It's the gas to the fire that's already there. And the fire that you have is your information, right? The lighter fluid is your sex appeal. You already have fire in your information. Like I've heard you talk. We've been around. We've talked sports. That's fire. Mm-hmm. But the inferno is that piece right there.
Yeah.
And that's
what the boog's out.
But it doesn't even have to be.
I'm just messing with you. I'm totally messing with you.
No. But there is something about it. No, to your point. But there is something about it that garners that. And I like to use the Yoki stirrup parallel, if y'all don't mind, because her talking about guns in a male-dominated space, just like football, she would have been overlooked if she was just spitting information about pounds per pressure on a trigger, slide actions. But because she had that outfit on, it became internet gold. And now, if you look at her first videos to her videos now, the comments are all about the guns themselves, not more or less the information, not about her outfit. Like people have gotten beyond it, like, oh, we see that, but now let's hear what she really's got to say.
Yeah.
Versus with us, with guys, we gotta come in here spitting game about what we talking about, and it's a slow crawl for us. When you guys can come in there and just, for example,
and like skip to the front of the line. Yeah. Because of being sexy.
Literally. Yes.
Yeah.
And Joy Taylor in that little episode the same way. She had her toes out. She's still Joy Taylor, but she looks different, more comfortable. She's not sitting up at the desk all proper, and it gives a different appeal to it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
I agree. Oh, Rosa Day. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, Rosa Day.
Shout out to all the ladies in the chat that are sending super chats. You know what? Because people always say women don't support women. Women don't support women. So shout out to all the ladies who are in the chat doing what women do and being supportive. Kudos to you.
Awesome. Let's clap it up for the ladies giving super chats. And more to come. Shout out again to old man for the $100, man. Come on, old man facts. That's awesome.
Old man, let it fly, man. Let it fly. When 10 minutes into this thing.
Yeah.
Bro, we already had 20 super chats. 20.
Interesting. Wow. Well, half of them are Reggie.
I don't think we've gotten 20 super chats combined.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm never going to let either one of you live this one down.
No,
ever.
Never.
Remember that one time?
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's the power, but that's the power that you say some mornings I wake up and don't feel like using. And we don't understand it. As men, we don't understand it. But you're expressing it to us. So I got a question for you. So if I took out a wardrobe, right, for the whole entire week, and I told you, this is what your fans want to see, right? And I have a wardrobe for Monday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You're telling me it doesn't matter what they want to see, because you may put something on that if internally you don't feel right. It's just you're not going to work. It's not going to go. That's what you're saying?
Well, I think that's different because I can plan and I know that that's the thing. I think that's a little different. So and it also depends on what we're talking about. So if you're saying to me like you said you were going to go live whenever you got monetized, and because that's here, I'm going to pick out your outfit, whatever. I think that's different. I think what I'm talking about is just like the common everyday kind of thing, you know? And I think the other thing that people don't think about when it comes to women is all the other things we're also responsible for. And, you know, we're usually the backbones to a lot of things. We're usually the ones that are making sure our households are running and functioning. We're usually the ones, you know, that are taking care of other things too. And so sometimes it's just like, hold on a second. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many things going on. And so we don't always get to just focus on our appearance or how we show up. Sometimes, quite frankly, we just spent 5 minutes crying and releasing whatever we were going through to come and show up to a situation. So what you get is what you get. And so I think that's another thing. It's like women aren't always even me showing up to this. I had a long night last night. I'm tired. I'm actually exhausted. If I was off this live right now, I would probably be showering and getting in the bed. I'm tired. But as a woman, I said I was going to show up. And so I'm here and I'm showing up. And this is what you know what I'm saying? So like what it took me to get here, I feel like is the thing that we don't always think about when it comes to women, because we have so many other obligations and things that we have to take care of. And so it's just not always the moment. I don't, like I'm tired, but I was showing up for this. Sexy as hell. So I made sure to show up this way on purpose, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah. So now I'm going to say this to you really, Phil. I think it's the same both ways, right? I'll just say this. I think when we do these shows, it's days I don't feel like shaving. I'm literally on the phone cutting my hair so I make sure I don't look like a ragamuffin up in this joint. You know what I mean?
Right.
The preparation, I think, is there for all. It may be a little different, but I think we all prepare ourselves, especially when you come onto these spaces, where you're viewed and so forth. There are days that, I hate to say this, like, I do like the videos, like the WREs and so forth.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't cut my hair. I'm like, oh, all right, let me go in here. I got to get my hair cut. I can't go in the video with my, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
we all have preparational need. Like, we all prepare ourselves and we all go through things and we all have those things. I just think it's done differently. But to like tie it back into this sport and media, as you said earlier, sex sells in that sense, meaning the appeal and so forth. That's where I firmly believe, and like I say, Street out is me and him are actually saying the same thing, is that you all have that advantage, especially if you know what you're talking about, because now you're not just a pretty face in an empty mind. You're a pretty face with knowledge and information, and people can respect both avenues, right? It's not like how do you say it? What's the thing we did? I don't see how on one of them Miss America pageants. She was a beautiful girl, but she talking in circles. Like, what they call it, the dumb blonde thing, I think is what they call it or whatever. So when you come up, and again, all 32 come up, and your conversation is valid and it's fact-based and it's this and that, there's a lot more respect that goes with it.
That's true.
For example, I'll say this, for example, a Jamel Hill versus a Joy Taylor. That's, to me, is a perfect comparison. Jamel Hill can speak what sports with anyone. I believe Joy Taylor can, but what's the difference? The sex appeal factor.
Joy, yeah. No, and I agree. And to be honest, it's one of the things I like about being a woman is that you can be where you want to be and be what makes you comfortable for the day. I think that, however, I hear what you're saying and you're absolutely correct. What you're saying is 100% correct. You're not saying anything wrong. I just think that it's up to that woman and how she wants to show up and how she wants to present herself. And I also like the element of surprise. I like the element of, is she or is she not? Like, what is this going to be? And maybe that's just me being me. Like, I kind of like it, but I hear you. I agree with you. I think you're 100% right. I know when to turn it on and turn it off as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, sorry. I just saw Ebron's comment.
Ebron talking about we beta males. You don't even know what we're talking about, Ebron.
But yeah, so I also think too, like on behalf of, like, I just want to say this for women, if you don't feel like you have a sex appeal, also don't feel obligated to lean into it if you don't feel comfortable. Because I think that's the other thing that sometimes not a lot of people say is like, if you don't have it and you don't, or you don't feel confident with it, it's okay. Like, I don't want us to get to a place where it's like, if you're a woman and you have to, if you're sexy, show you're sexy. Like, you don't have to. It's a bonus.
Right. But we're talking, okay, so let's take this to this piece real quick. Does Really Flawed for the $2 again, Reggie? I think you're about to get to that 10 comment mark. Really Flawed, does 1908 mean anything to you?
I'm ignoring him.
I don't know what 1908 means. So
1908.
You talking about the year that E. Brown was born? Is that what he's saying? I don't know. I don't know what it means. So Reggie could tell us in the chat what 1908, because I have no idea what it means. But here's what I'll say. I agree with all of that.
However,
here's my point. Because we're talking about the business side, right? And we're not just talking about maybe a YouTube channel or maybe in particular yours. But let's just say when you're in, and I bring up Joy Taylor, but any women in there, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bailey, if they came up there with just, like, most jobs on Fridays is dress down Fridays.
Yeah.
And she came up there with just the old, it just doesn't, I don't know if it works or it fits, but that's just not, it's not right. It's not par for course in regards to that arena. And I think we're looking at it differently. And I think me and Street look at it, and I keep bringing up Street because we talk a lot, so I know kind of how we think. We're looking at our channels from a business perspective. I guess my question to you is, what do you want from your channel? Is it a place just to release, or are you want to create this as a business? If it's a place for you to release and you just want to come on and, like you said, brain dump and just talk sports casually, then that's fine. But if you want to turn this and bloat it and put gasoline on this thing, keep getting them to Amazon packages. But go ahead. So, you know what I'm saying? What is your goal for your channel?
So I think that's a good question. And I just want to start off by saying first, I'm always down for a good release. If you got it, if you understood what I said, you got it. However, I think when I started my channel, it was to just see what it was. I actually didn't know. And so I wasn't sure how I was going to land. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. And I just wasn't sure. And so I think now that I've experienced it a little bit and I feel like I'm getting like a little bit better and I'm starting to understand what's going on, now I'm looking at things as a business. And so now I'm like, oh, okay, I actually can do this. Because again, I didn't know if I was going to like it. I think I've said before, I was going to do like no face. I was just going to talk because I just wanted a space to talk. And I think that's why yesterday I said, you're right. We could be having the same conversation in a year from now, and my channel could be different because I've evolved and realized what I wanted to do. So now I've changed, you know what I mean? Or evolved or whatever you want to use. So yes, I think when I started, I was just using it as like a fun place to like, be like, this is what I think. Ha ha ha. But once I started creating videos, I'm like, wait, I have a lot to say. And this is kind of cool. And then I was like, wait, people are actually listening and people are actually so now that's why I'm like, when I get monetized and stuff like that, like, yeah, I got you. That's what, like, listen, when I get monetized, I'm going to do a live and I will show up sexy and I will play the role because I got it, but I didn't know that that's what I was going to do when I started. So I guess my answer to that question is it started one way and it's evolved.
Yeah. I started the same way. I just made a video during COVID and my phone kept going ding, 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 ding. I said, uh-oh, hey, we got action. We got something here. And that's how it turned out. Street, let me ask you this, just for people who don't know. Did you start YouTube I know your story, but maybe some don't. Did you start YouTube with your first video up on YouTube? Did you know you wanted to make it a business, or was it just a place to just put some videos?
I knew that, first of all, I just threw the video up on my cousin. I came back and it had 3,000 views, and I called him and I was like, hey, bro, he played like 11U. I was like, man, you keep watching that video? Like, he was like, I ain't watched that video since you put it up. And then that's when the light went off. That there was a market for an extra youth football game. So if you were at your son's game, your nephew's game, you never got to see your cousin play. So my whole idea was, okay, I'm going to give everybody an extra 3 or 4 football games this weekend. I thought YouTube was going to make me rich. At the time, it wasn't paying like that. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to figure it out, but I just knew there was a market for it. I knew that, hey, if you're at North Day Park every day, you never get to see Northside play.
Right.
Yeah. So I just started giving them an extra game. And I never showed my face in the beginning. Like I never talked. I never showed my face. It was just highlights and kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing my face, that came a little later.
Yeah. And I think that's where we were headed yesterday. In that conversation was because I do value your opinion. We've had many conversations on off air. I think you know the game. I know you know the game. I know you can articulate yourself. You do a great job. And like anything, you got to ride the bike. You're going to wobble, but as you do anything more, you get more comfortable. I remember sitting here an hour before every show start, like, okay, all right. Now I'd be like, hey, welcome everybody. Just roll off your tongue because you've done it so much, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And so now, like your first video is not the same as maybe your 10th video. 10th video is not the same as your 30th video. 30 is not the same as your 100th video. Same thing here. And so I guess, again, when I looked at it and I watched some of the comments on All 32 NFL, you see the comments of people say, I could see you on First Take. I could see you on this. And I'm saying the same thing, in my opinion, about you. Like my first comparison was, damn, really Flawed could be that same person. Like, because of the knowledge. It wasn't about appearance.
Everything else,
more than it was up here. And I'm saying I think in my opinion, they bring the same value to it. It's maybe done a little differently, but there's a lane in there. And we know how guys are. Bro, ladies night 3, guess what? Why do they do ladies night? Because guys gonna follow, right?
Right.
Just what it is. Why does every show have the same format? 2 guys debating, and the lady is the moderator. And we and you have talked about you being a moderator before, right? We've had that conversation. So because the lady brings at least
her packages.
The milkshake bring all the boys to the yard. And that's just what it is.
I also think too, if I'm being honest, I think that there's a little bit of like, I know sports, right? And I know that I know things, and I know, that I know, but I think sometimes you don't really know if you know, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And so I think like kudos to like every panel that's even invited me up, that's even listened to what I have to say, because I think that that's another part of this is sometimes you don't know. You think you know, and then once you get a part of it, you're like, oh wait, I do kind of know. And obviously there's limitations and there's things that like you don't know. And I just think that sometimes I have to also remind myself that like, oh yeah, I don't know that, but guess what? A lot of people don't know things, and so it's like also working through that aspect of you're in a male dominated space because you are. Yes, you're passionate about that, but I've never played football. Like I don't, so I can't give you that take, but I can give you the take on the year or the decades now that I have watched and what I do know and what I see that might be different than you would ever see, just because my perspective is different. I'm a woman. I see things differently. And, like I always laugh, even, this, Coach Hayes, but even some of my content, like I've become obsessed with the fan experience of sports, because I don't think we talk about the fan experience, but the fans are making all of this go, because if there's no fans and no one's watching, none of this matters, because it's sports and entertainment. And so, but usually people talk about the game and this and that. So I just think that there's like elements of what's happening that I didn't know 6 months ago that I would be fascinated with thinking about how fans are viewing the game and talking to fans and taking that approach. I didn't even know that was a thing. And then I started it and I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like, I kind of like this perspective of a fan viewing this and different levels of fans. But again, it's like, I didn't know that. So it's like, I also am learning and figuring out what works for me and what I want to talk about as well. So that's also has a little bit at play as well.
Yeah. No, I think all of us take time to have to figure it out. We got another donor right here, Hayes. Shout out to Insane W with the $10. This should be a regular segment. Flawed on Hayes Street.
Oh, that's cute.
We're gonna see
Hayes Street is flawed.
yeah, better.
That's cute.
Now we're gonna see if we can get her in here regular. Because we can help her, she can help us. And I reached out to all 32. All 32 say she down. She said she'll come on here with whatever. She liked the chemistry we had. So let's get into it, bro, because I got a question. Okay, so listen.
Yeah, now it's time to get. We're 51 minutes in. Let's get back. Hey, and I ain't got another show to do today. I got time today.
I feel that women's sports, like women's basketball, right? It's the same as men. The goal is 10 feet. The ball may be a little smaller. It's the same court that they're playing on. And I don't think the women's game should be the same as the men's game. I think the women's basket should be lower. I think the women's uniform should look different. Now,
let me guess, you want the uniforms to be sexier?
Oh, of course, yeah, because you got the football players. Because men's football players, you got the guys come out there with the short shirts on. They're showing their abs.
Valid.
Yeah, and he think he's sexy. Period. That's the dude that spent all the time in the mirror before the goddamn game started.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's valid. That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think the women game should accent some of them things. I do think the uniform should look different. I think the rim should be smaller, and I think it will be their own thing. As a woman, try to help me understand this. We could do it like the men and just not stand in your own lane and creating your own thing.
So I want to say, I actually do agree with you that I think the rims should be lower in women's basketball. I actually think that creates a different dynamic for the women. And I think that because a lot of men say, like, if women could dunk in WNBA, I'd watch it. Like, if women could. So I hear what you're saying as far as lowering the goals. I actually kind of agree with that. Okay. I think, though, that what happens as a woman is whenever it's almost like you saying it feels like we're less than. And that's an ego-driven thing that I think that we could let go of. As far as the uniforms, give them options. Let them wear it how they want to wear it. Let them have, like, if some women, give them options. Like, I watch the UFC. Sometimes different fighters, sometimes the women fighters come out in shorter shorts. Sometimes they wear longer shorts. Sometimes they wear the bras. Sometimes they wear t-shirts, right? They have choices. And because some women might want to wear that and some women might not, but I don't see what's wrong with giving them an option.
Yeah, can I be honest? I don't want to see Brittany Griner.
Okay, let's not. But
I'm agreeing with what you're saying because I don't want to see Brittany Griner like that, and Brittany Griner don't want me to see her like that.
Exactly. Right. That's why I said give them options.
That's why I agree with you. Like, instead of making that the mandatory, like, Brittany, you go put on them other shorts, but Candace Parker, you understand what I'm saying?
You want to, Well, so they've implemented this. So I played volleyball, so I watch volleyball. That's like my sport, and that's like my first thing I've ever fell in love with was volleyball. If you watch a volleyball game, a high-level women's volleyball match, you will see, except beach, sometimes beach, they're letting them kind of get different with their clothing. You'll see some women now will wear pants. Some women now will wear short shorts. Some women now will wear knee. Like, they're allowing them to just make sure they have on their jerseys, but the rest of their outfits be what you're comfortable with. So they do it in volleyball, and we all know volleyball is historically not for that, right? It's usually just like the short shorts and do that. But now they're allowing them to wear different clothes. So I agree with you. Like, why not give them different options? And for the women that want to do it. And the women that don't want to do it, don't do it.
Yeah, I'll say this when it comes to altering the games. And I'm going to just break this down. I've had this conversation. I don't know if it was with you, Street, or not, but I've had this conversation. It's all down to economics, right? Because now you got to get a 9-foot rim for women to play on in high schools. So, see, we only think in professional. So when you grow up, shooting on a 10-foot rim, And then you go to college on a 9-foot rim, it throws your game completely off. So now economically, you have to change rims across this entire country.
I don't think that's how rims are. I think you go to the back and you can just lower it.
Yeah, if you purchase that one.
If you purchase,
right. Oh, my bad.
Right.
like the rims that come down
If
in
you
the
had it in
gym.
your budget. If you had it in your budget.
Noted.
Yeah. They've already been set at that height. So when they bend them back down, that's the height. It's, it's been measured, whatever. But if you do that, then it's always up, down, off, whatever. Also, there were a lot of people talking about, I wasn't talking to you, it was somebody else, the length of the court as well. Well, now you got to change the length of the court across the country. Like, so economics, I think, is truly, in my opinion, why they have not done that, because they've done it with the ball. See, the ball is easy fix.
True. It is, yeah.
Right? The ball is an easy fix, right? You got a ball here, you got a ball there, no problem. But the free throw line is the same distance for women and men, everything else. But when you look at sports like golf, the women's tee is closer, but that's nothing, because all you have to do is move the tee up. You're not changing the whole course.
That's true.
So for you to drive that ball off, it's a simple fix of moving it here. And because men, hate to say it this way, but that is the reality of life, men's sports probably dominate over women's sports. They're going to tend to the men's side of the dimensions, I guess, if that's the right way to say it.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of my frustration with this whole thing, is we always say it's women that don't support women's sports. It's women that, okay, well, we know where the revenue is. So what are the men doing to support give some money back to do the things that you're wanting to do to make this a better thing? It's like, it's easy for people to say it's because women don't support. It's because women, and it's like, why is it up to like, we support football and baseball and all these other things. So where's, like, if you're making the money, share the money. Like, help, like, offer something to make it better. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the fix is, and I don't know if they'll ever do it, but it's like, I do agree that the outfit change could probably be the quickest and the easiest, considering there's not as many teams. And Nike or whoever sponsors them could they could probably do that in no time.
Right. Well, because we got to think of it on a mass scale, right?
Yeah.
I know we think professionally, and they have the money to change a uniform, but
the game as a whole, from youth all the way up. Real quick, you know this, is the net the same height for men and women in volleyball? I don't know. No, it's not.
So
the men's net is higher. And beach and in indoor and in the Olympic, like it's higher.
But the dimensions of the court are the same.
The dimensions of the court are the same.
Because now you got to redraw lines and that's where the economic piece comes in. It's nothing to change the net, right? The volleyball is exactly the same, right? The size of the ball.
The size of the ball is the same. Everything's the same.
But the net.
Even yes, because now I think too, there used to be a few rules that were a little different. Now it's very consistent across the board. They're playing the same game. It's just obviously, and I think, but even, I was just thinking about this, even soccer, I think is the same, right? I think soccer players, I think the women and men play on the same field, same ball, like same rules, same everything. It's just, but it's but even in fighting, MMA, you know what I mean? Like, they have the same rules. Yeah.
I think the rules are whatever. I think when it comes to the dimensions of the courts, that's where the economics comes in. I think
I agree with that.
The biggest issue, because we look at that. Well, I showed yesterday, men's volleyball look way different than women's volleyball uniform.
Right.
But men have the option. They just choose not to. I know they don't. They're not going to come out there looking like the women, but they have the option. They just don't.
Yeah, just like women's track uniforms. They don't wear the long leggings. I guess they could, but a lot of them don't. I guess we saw FloJo with the one leg versus, the one that was shorter. but for the most part, they wear, I would just call them like the bikini swimsuit cut. I guess if that's the right way to say it. That's how I look at it. But yeah, I you know that. Yeah, that's where I am with the street. What you got, street?
I got a lot of questions I can ask, bro. I got a whole list of them right here.
I got time. We got time.
Fire at them. Fire away.
I know a list already.
She's tired, but we're gonna work her today.
So outside, so your day job, do you mind saying what your day job is? Because I don't know what it is. Like you said, you're kind of professional, right?
Yeah, so I'm a professor. So I teach college.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's part of it. And then I also work in corporate America. So all things like talent acquisition, talent management. So often, like, how can I explain this to a way that makes sense to the masses? Basically, like anything like organizational development, like how can we fix things, change management, things like that, I'm responsible for. So I often spend my days talking to like VPs and like very people that are way smarter than me, but telling them all the details that I saw that they didn't think to care about. I'll do that. And then obviously being a college professor also.
Okay, so that allows a dilemma there in itself, huh? Because me and Hayes talked about that yesterday, and I had never thought about that, like what we do throughout the day. Well, I'm unemployed, so I mean,
Speaking of that, one of my shorties in the chat right now talking about, what's up, coach? I'm being 11th grade next year. Like, yeah, that's what we were talking about. We were saying that sometimes we do things or we have certain shows because of also what's tied to our profession. I'll just call it our day job, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things, like I say, I don't curse on my shows because I know I got the kids watching. The school board can come in and be like, hey, X, Y, and Z. You know, they don't really have any jurisdiction over me when I'm off the clock. However, it could be a conflict of interest. Yeah, you know, they don't have any jurisdiction, but you know, they can make it uncomfortable for you, and your boy only got 5 years left. And I ain't trying to lose you for some curse words.
Yeah.
You trying to use for the curse words? So
No,
yeah, so I got questions.
Well, I think you have another one? Go for it.
Oh, yeah. No, that wasn't even a question. That was a question, but that was just getting started. Have you ever dressed up for Halloween in one of these sexy police outfits? One of these sexy Halloween outfits, right?
When I was younger, I did. Not as a grown woman. No.
No? Have you ever took the sexy, racy pictures for your birthday? Like, it's my birthday, bitch! And then you got the photographer comes and he take the picture with the one feather and you feeling sexy on your birthday. Have you ever did that?
Yes, but I didn't post it. No one's ever seen those pictures.
Right. So I want you to explain to me, what is it about, and I'll give you my own take of it. What is it about those days, Halloween, your birthday, that makes women feel like I'm going to be free today?
It's that day. Because it's the day that you can do it where you don't hear a lot of other mess about you doing it.
That's what I see. And
yeah, it's a free day.
That's what I thought. So is it safe to say if we didn't have mouths and we couldn't talk,
now this is going to be interesting.
Freer. That women at heart really want to be more open, more free, more revealing. They all have 10% of stripper in them. They just don't want to hear the backlash.
I
love it.
This is a maybe kids will be watching. I think it's higher than 10%. And I think that absolutely. I think if you didn't have to deal with the extra, absolutely.
Could you give us the idea? Like if we was like those monkeys, we couldn't see, we couldn't talk, right? Could you give us an idea of a woman in the industry that you think most women would like to walk around and be most women wish they could walk around and be like X.
So I can't do that, but what I can tell you are the things that women don't like. I could be wrong. Women in the chat will correct me. Most women don't want to wear bras.
Appreciate it.
Mine
Like,
don't wear bras.
But
Never
most women don't want to wear bras. Like, we just don't want to wear, like, it's another piece of clothing. It's another, like, we just don't want to. It's unfortunately taboo for women to talk about sex. But if you ever ask a woman what they're talking about in their group chat, you would be surprised to know what women are actually talking about when it's just the girls. You would be surprised to know that women, like I think the world has made women not be what we are at heart because it's told us it's a certain thing. If you dress this way, it's not professional. If you do this, it's not this. If you do that. And so even when you're raised, like I was raised, like my parents are like, be you, baby. Like, do you, shine, be confident in it. Just make sure whatever it is you do that you can always defend it. I was raised that way. I was raised by my dad saying, never shut up, never sit down. A lot of women didn't have that experience. So for me, when I look at the world, I scale myself back a lot because I realize the world isn't ready for me really, and so I can scale it. And I think there's a lot, I know that there's a lot of women that scale back because the world tells us if you are a certain way, then you are a certain thing. And unfortunately, lots of people believe that.
Right.
So if that's the case, why is it when men bring up conversations, it's almost like this barrier goes up?
This is like
women?
therapy. I love this.
Yeah,
Send those super
guy
chats. Send those super chats. You guys are getting some free game. Okay. So send those super chats. If you have a woman, go tell her you love her and you don't want her to wear a bra either, because she will be very happy to hear you say she doesn't have to wear that bra. Okay.
Until
Thank
she
me
go
later.
Until she go in the street.
Like, go let your woman know. She doesn't want to wear that bra. She doesn't want to deal with this crap, and go tell her you appreciate her for allowing her to be her. So what was the question? I needed to say that. I felt the urge.
That's fine. But I was saying, it's funny that you say that. And that's kind of what Joy Taylor was and Rooks was saying on the reason they started their podcast, to express those same type of things you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say certain, if a man and a woman have a conversation and a man has that same conversation, like just talking, I'm trying to word this correctly. If you go to a woman like on this platform and I be like, yeah, well, women do blah, blah, blah. They try to put his barrier like, no, I'm a woman. I don't talk like that.
Because
that's your doors.
Because that's how you are supposed to be. And so that's how you are without even realizing it. Like, okay, let's be real for a second. Before this show, I called you and I was like, hey, what time are we going on? Are we sure? Right. And I was like, I double checked with you. I already knew what we were doing today, but I still double checked with you. That is embedded in me. It's almost like you could call it a character flaw, but I feel like something, and that's why my channel is flawed, because I feel like there's a certain part of me as a woman. I have certain flaws that I don't realize because I am this way, because I've become this way, because that's usually what you have to be. Like before I go in a work meeting, I know what the topic is. I know I'm ready for the meeting, but I still am like, hey, are we still talking about the things? We're still good there. And I think, so when you look at that, and if that's how you're going to be, when a man comes to you and says something, you're kind of like, your first reaction is actually to pull back, because you're like, what are we doing? Like, and we also communicate differently.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. And I think too, I feel like I can have really good relationships with men and positive relationships with men, because I also let men, like, listen, okay, you want a woman's perspective? And I call it out. And I think if you call it out, and I think that's what we don't do, that's why we have a hard time communicating with each other, because we assume that you can talk to a woman the same way you talk to your homeboy. And women assume that I can talk to my boyfriend the same way that I can talk to my girlfriend, and you can't. And we don't do enough changing how we communicate with each other. We expect the other person to get our lingo instead of realizing that, like, that's not how you communicate. Like, that doesn't work.
Yeah, true. That's true.
So, and even like, I think if you look at like marriages and relationships, it's like half the time why things don't work is because you can't communicate. Is because I said, why are you wearing that? But what I really meant is, you look great, but why did you choose that? But now you're offended because I said the wrong thing, and now we're triggered and we're off. And it's like,
tone matters. Yeah, tone
yeah,
matters.
it's like we didn't. It's like, how are we off?
You know what my pet peeve is? I have a very big pet peeve. When somebody used the word right after they ask me a question. For example, are you going to the store, right? It's almost saying like, that's what you're going to do. But I'm asking you, but I'm telling you. When I've already told you, I'm going to the store. Right? So, for example, we set up the appointment. You came on, and imagine I call you and say, hey, Really Flawed, you coming on the show, right?
Yeah.
Well, you just told me. Like, and I think that's.
Can I tell you something?
I know why people do it, but it irks me beyond belief. But anyway,
I have a friend that I actually have to do that too, because she has so many things going on, and she counts on me to kind of give her that last bit of like, hey, I know we just talked about it 4 hours ago, but 9:30, right? Like, but again, so if I would have done that to you, you would have been like, really? Like, come on, you know I'm showing up.
I think it's because, right, but I think it's because we literally, like, if I would have said, hey, what time the show come on? 7:00. All right. And then 3 seconds later, so we going on at 7:00, right? I'm like, but I know it's a me thing. I understand why you do it maybe with your friend, because you have to do it. But for me, it's like I listen well, I comprehend, I try to do it, you know, but that, that's why I say it's my pet peeve. I get it.
Yeah,
I understand it. I'm not saying it's stupid, but for me, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, some people don't like, you know, people leave their shoes in the middle of the floor. For some people, they step over and don't bother them. But that's why I just brought that up in that piece, though. We got another one?
Yeah. Shout out to Bishop Frank, Dr. Newkirk, Really Flawed up there cooking facts. They only see Really Flawed, but they don't even see us no more, bro. We ain't respect it. They don't even see us no more. We
just leave. I got it from here.
Yeah,
exactly. So what do we want to talk about? What you know what? Let's do this. What questions? Put questions in the chat that you have for women. Like, let's have the conversation. Like, we can be up here for a little while longer. I mean, especially if you're paying me to be up here a little longer. I'm just messing with you. But no, seriously, like, what other questions do you have? Because I think that we don't often have these conversations in spaces that allow people to see that, like, we can have conversations and we don't even always have to agree, but let's have the conversation.
Yeah, we could see. I don't know about the conversation, but we sure could see.
It's a lot better. Hey, they could just hear our voice.
And nobody
on the radio. On the radio. Huh?
And no woman, we sound like we called in, and no woman in the chat is gonna be like, man, who's that guy with that sexy voice? Nobody. Nobody's gonna say that.
Nope.
But I think, but at the same time, here I am. Bet you didn't expect to see me on the screen by myself today.
Minimally flawed. I like it. Minimally flawed.
Minimally flawed. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk. Can we tie it into sports a little bit while they posing their questions?
Yeah.
Right.
And can I just say this though? I also don't speak on behalf of all women. I'm like, because I think also what happens is, like, I'll be like, Street, go do this for your girl, and you'll go do that for your girl, and it didn't work, right? So yeah. I think like we need to remember that, like, what I'm saying might not work for every woman, and I don't want to be up here.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna read this. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm laughing. L&V, L&V, L&V. You got 6 minutes. Right hand corner. You want to know why, L&V? Nothing minimal up there. See, L&V, 6
My
minutes.
girl, Ellen.
Ready for the $2. Shout out to you, coach. He knew the assignment. I got you.
So I just want to throw that caveat that, go ahead.
Clap it up for a member 2 months in the building. Coach! I had to cut it off so I could see it. Coach, women are just like men, believe it or not. They are the female version of us. Coach.
In a way, I could see that.
Hold on. Women are just like men, believe it or not. They are the female version of us. That the female version of us cuts me off.
I think he's saying as far as like how we think and feel, we just don't always express it.
But that's the men from Mars, women from Venus thing, right? Like
exactly.
We're talking two different languages.
Right.
Even though we're speaking English, I totally get that part.
When he said just like us, what do you think he means though? I think what do you think he means? And I'll tell you what, just like us. He's saying they want some of the same things we want.
I believe that. No, that part I believe.
Yeah, I believe
that. The part that throws me off is it says they are the female version of us, but
I don't think that was
when I discovered that women wanted sex just as much as men because we spent our adolescence chasing them, right? But when I discovered it, that they wanted it just as much as men, it's just the supply and demand was we hunted them, we chased them, and they can get it anytime they want. But when I realized that, I stopped calling women like sluts and the H word, because as I realized that, oh man, they wanted they just pick and choose who they want it from.
Exactly. And you ain't the one. And so I think what happens too with men, and I think that you guys will take this in the best way possible.
We'll try.
There's an ego part of men that sometimes doesn't allow for you all to actually realize that a woman's just not into you. And it doesn't mean you're terrible. It doesn't mean whatever. It's just sometimes you're not it. And you press the issue, but it's like, we're trying to back out. But like, and then I've been in situations where like I was over it and I was done, and I had to move very strategically to get away, to not be too rude, to not be too whatever, and like graciously kind of be like, you're cool and all, you're great, it's not you, it's me. Oh my God, you're gonna make some women very happy, blah blah blah. Like, and it's like, why do I have to do all of this? Like, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I should have just been like, I'm out. But I knew that he because I knew how he handled situations in the past when I was kind of like, I'm kind of over this. And so I feel like sometimes I know sometimes I've overcompensated to not hit that ego and to do like a slow removal so that I don't, trigger too much.
Trigger. You agree with that, Hayes?
I was distracted. I ain't gonna lie. God dang it.
But what? What'd you look at?
I was thinking about a Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Not the Popeye chicken sandwich that went.
You know what I'm talking about? This is a big fillet of chicken breast. It's a spicy one.
So you're saying you've been in situations where you tried to throw hints at a guy and he wasn't getting it.
He wasn't getting it.
Like what? Give me some of these hints. Fellas, listen up, because we're not good at taking hints. We're straightforward with each other. But y'all are like hint throwers.
No,
y'all throw hints.
No, because okay, but that's what I'm saying, because depending on like how you've lived life, there are certain things that you've seen that make you become that. Because okay, you know what? We're here. F it. When I was younger, I was in a bad relationship, and nothing like, and I have a video on this on my YouTube channel, and the title is like the Diddy video triggered me, and this is why. I've been in a situation before where I was like, I'm done with this. I'm over it. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he took my keys from me. And in that moment, I realized that bluntness didn't give me the response that I was needed. And then I started to feel threatened because I was like, now I actually physically can't leave because I can't. And so when I finally was able to leave, he had gone to get in the shower and I found my keys and literally got out of there. So that situation has taught me, be careful how you make your exit. Like, be careful, because that situation could have been worse than it actually was. So I tried the approach of like, listen, I'm not really feeling this. Like, and I said, I'm not really feeling this. I think we should just end this here. I'm ready to go. It's just not working. And then he was like, why isn't it working? And we're going back and forth. And I finally was just like, it's just not work. Like, I'm just not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was ready to go. And so for me, it's my experience that has led me to be like, I don't ever want to put myself in that situation again, where I feel like I can't leave and somebody takes my property and basically holds me hostage. And the reason why the Diddy video triggered me is because obviously Diddy comes running out and he's in a towel. My point is, I could have been, right? So what I'm saying is I tried that approach of I'm getting out of here, like, thank you, but no thank you. And it didn't work. So I learned from that experience. I'm like, okay, moving forward, I will just subtly give in. So that
this was a relationship?
Yes.
Like how long?
Like 9 months.
And you were trying to leave forever. And he was like, not in that Nissan.
I was ready to go. Yeah.
Now that Nissan Altima, you know, that's a lady's car.
I was ready to go. I've never had a Nissan Altima, but I was ready to go. Like, I was over it. And what makes the situation worse, and like, I don't mean to like get all whatever, but what makes the situation worse is I remember that I was trying to end it. Like, I was like, let's have a conversation. I'll come over. He knew what time it was. And he was like, well, come over next week. So he was trying to stall it out. So then when I finally did show up and we had the conversation, it was like, he took my key. Like, I felt like it was planned. I felt like I had set myself up because I didn't really think it through. But my point is that's why for me, I'm not ever going to put myself in that situation again, ever. Because.
Okay. I was focused this time. So I get that part, right? Like I understand that part. People are weird. People are different. People handle stuff different, you know, in all different facets. And I'll just leave it at that. Everybody has their own experience and their own truths. So I get that. I just think like it's unfortunate some people can't just handle the bluntness, right? Mm-hmm. Some people are like that. And I think I'm like that. Oh, Lord, what happened, Doc?
Everything's falling apart.
Nah, that's me over here saying somebody requested that we go to little small boxes and that her go to a big box. They just dog us in the comment section.
Yeah, they just yeah.
So I'm trying to give them what they want.
What can you guys must be able to see things I can't see.
Yes.
Oh, because you're streaming it on your shows, on your receiver.
Yeah. So right. So like what I was saying was when you look at that, you do treat every situation different. You do treat every relationship different. Some people, you know, can't handle the bluntness, but some people can. So I get that part. So now that I was listening intently, I get where you're coming from. Real quick, $2 from Fred. He says, that's what I mean, Streeter. That's what he was talking about. But I wanted to bring something up I saw a little bit of ways ago. And I thought this was really flawed. I pinned her. That's what I was doing as well. I pinned her YouTube page. Let's get her the watch hours she needs. What do you need? 600 more watch hours?
Yeah, it's the watch hours. So yeah. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, go watch me and see what you think.
Yeah, 600 more watch hours. And I'm gonna just tell you, if you're into the NFL, you have a series going right now where you are interviewing all 32 NFL team fan bases and having that conversation. And the funny thing about it, this is why I said, you asked me to do the Dolphins. And I said, listen, man, I'm just a Dolphin fan. I can't tell you but Tua and Tyreek Hill on the team because I don't follow them like that. Yeah. I'm always supporting the home team. So it's great that you, like I said, that's why I appreciated your sports mind when it came to that, because for a person to have a conversation about all 32 teams and have an intelligent one, that's awesome. So I have pinned it to the top. Let's get it at 600 more hours, guys. If you can, put it on, watch it while you're cooking, whatever, and see what you're wearing. You never know, like a box of chocolate.
Yeah, that's a fact. You never know.
You never know what you're going to get.
To ask you a question, give you a few questions. So here's one of the questions right here.
Okay.
How do you feel like how do you all feel? How do you all feel like Mina Kimes? Okay, I think they're trying to say, how do you all feel about Mina Kimes? She doesn't necessarily have the sex appeal, but people listen.
I don't know who Mina Kimes is.
Mina Kimes is that.
Go ahead.
I'm put.
She's a sports analyst. Yeah. So I agree with you. I think she's a great example. I think that she gives really solid takes and she knows the game. One thing I love about her is like her details that she talks about. Like I always learn something new from her, even when I thought I knew the thing that she's talking about. So she does a really good job with those details that I feel like can often get missed. And I think she ties together things really well. So I like her. But again, you're right. She doesn't carry the same sex appeal. She doesn't even try to, quite frankly.
But I'll say this. She does. It just may not be for us. But she's an attractive woman.
She is attractive. Yeah, she's
right.
Attractive.
What I'm saying is she does. It may not fit our liking or our take. But trust me, there is a majority of people out there that they can watch her as well. You understand?
Yeah.
I guess I should take that brick off in the back. That's what threw me off. So those are the type of things where I look at, and there is a prototypical sheet. The same way we look at athletes and who you want to recruit for the offensive tackle versus offensive guard. It's the same thing that goes into the media world, right? Sure. Is she this size? What does she look like? How does she talk? How does she relate to the people? All of that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, in this business, you have to be, I just believe, if you're going to be up there a talking head, you also have to be something to look at. May not be everybody's taste, but there's a lot of taste to it. And that's just part of the formula. That's just part of the formula of what it is, you know? Because I think Street was saying yesterday about coaches having to have a certain physique. And that was a real thing. And most people are not thinking like that. Like you think of Andy Reid, he's a one-off. But go look at most coaches. Look at the Mike Tomlin, right? That's your coach. Go look at the Mike. Like if you look at the body types, that's a big deal in coaching, believe it or not. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is too, is you were right. Like she has her own appeal. Let's just call it her own appeal. Like some people have, you're right. Like, and I respect her. And I think the other thing is too, I'm also one of those people, and this is another reason why I have a channel, is I like different perspectives. I like the diversity of understanding sports. It's why I consume different content that I consume, because I don't want to hear the same thing over and over and over. I want to hear a pushback. I want to hear the other perspective, like I think that makes it more entertaining for me, because I think, and I personally, now I'm going to go on a tangent here. Personally, I think we consume too much of information that we agree with, and it makes us jaded and unable to understand somebody else's perspective because it conflicts with what we think. And too many times we get emotionally invested in our own opinion that we have to be right, that we can't even open our minds and hearts to hear somebody else's perspective because we know we're right. And that's bad. It's like we're living in our own echo chamber of information. And as long as you feed me the positive stuff I want to hear, I agree. But the second you go negative, it's not negative, it's just a different opinion, but we don't know how to take different opinions.
Yeah. I mean, you learn that sitting here, but here she go, Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Mina, down here, I will ask you the same question I asked our entire collection right off the top. Don't just tell me who's going to win, but tell me why.
I'm leaning San Francisco. Everybody's been talking about the Chiefs offense versus the Niners defense, the strength on strength matchup. But when I look at this Niners offense, and particularly the rushing attack, I don't think the Chiefs have an answer for it. Everything they're good at, and they're good at a lot of things, running out of I formation, using counters, pre-snap motion, the Chiefs are bad at. Statistically, it bothers me so much when people call this Niners rushing attack old school. There is nothing old school about it. Yes, they ran at nearly 7 yards a carry in the last game. Well, they averaged nearly 3 yards before contact. That is scheme. That is deception. They are an equal opportunity offense. Everybody runs, everybody blocks, everybody carries the football. And the consequence is defenses are perpetually disoriented, like more disoriented than people on South Beach in the morning. They have no idea what is going on. And I think the Chiefs linebackers are going to struggle.
That's a good.
It's great that you brought that up. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Street.
No, go run it. You got it.
I was going to
No,
say.
when I listen to her talk, damn, that's fucked up. Go. Rock, paper, scissors. Fool. Let's go. Rock. I learned how to play this weekend. Rock, paper,
Scissors. Go.
Oh man, we can do that again. Go ahead, man.
Wait, I lost sound.
All right. So the reason I listened to her. That was my first time listening to her. Here's what I will say, and I think this is most people. But now here's the disadvantage I will say women have in this space is not speaking with confidence. She spoke with pure and utter confidence, right? She didn't stumble and bumble over her words, and she brought some humor into it. And that's most things. Now, guys can get away with that. The 49ers defense, because that's the disadvantage that women have in this space. And it's funny you brought that up, because she speaks with confidence and knows what she's saying and has studied it, or however she's come across it and watched it, whatever she's done, which is great. I think the problem happens when sometimes you watch these shows and sometimes a woman will speak and is not as confident. It's almost like she loses her credibility where a man won't. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm just telling you why people get turned off sometimes with women in sport versus, because you'll always hear she's just up there because she a pretty face. And that's why I say when you bring the brain and the body, now you got you something. But if you're up there, like sometime I think it was Molly or somebody, they come in with this kind of half take and they didn't really like nail it with the confidence part. They get hammered by the men audience, and that's just it's just kind of what it is, in that sense. And, that's just kind of how it just what it seems. And that's the disadvantage. But go ahead, Street, because I do want to say.
I did a little research on her, bro. Like I did a little research on her, and because I was trying to find out why does she sound like that. And what I found was interesting. Yeah, she got a bachelor's from Yale, right? She business journalism was her degree, and she worked at the. Let me see, I got it right here. Fortune Small Business Magazine, where she did like these in-depth analytical pieces, right? So all she is doing, bro, she is really good at finding information and digging into information, and she's good at presenting it, like I told you about Mel Kiper. It's not the fact that he's right, it's how entertaining it is to listen to him. And that's what she is. She knows the analytics part of it. And she's good at presenting it because she's very intelligent.
Yeah. And you speak with confidence. I tell people all the time, I used to tell our quarterback, you can't go in the huddle and be like, okay, trips right. 539, Wascat, 23M on 2. The players gonna be like, what? But I go, look, trips right, 539, Wascat, Yam, 26 fake on 2. Ready? Said the same thing, but it's how it's presented. And now people believe in what you're saying, right? We see it today. Mel Kiper been probably wrong more than he's been right, but he says it with confidence, and people come
every
back.
time.
We see people on these YouTube channels right now. They've been more wrong than they was right. And guess what? People still follow them. Credibility means nothing more than it means confidence. And so I want to ask you now if we can kind of lean into this.
Yeah. And also I don't know if there's any other questions because I asked for questions and then I don't know if Rose was the only person that asked questions. So just
I'll find it. There's a few more.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. I just don't want to be like, send questions. And then I don't answer the questions.
Right. Let me ask you this. Women in sport, they're no longer just the sideline reporter. I think that was strategically done, right?
Mm-hmm.
To have viewers.
Yeah.
But women in sport getting very technical. I heard her talk about running counters and I-back. I-back is an old school field. That's what people kind of meant about it because you don't see it much. But I told Streeter, you've been hearing me saying this. The fullback is coming back into football. I'm Soldier Boy on this one. I was the first one to say it. I was the first. The fullback is coming back. Why? I'll just tell you quickly. Because defenses have either drafted or recruited players for the spread. Now, offense go get one or two fullback. You can change your entire offense, and your middle linebacker is only 225 pounds now. So that's why. Why do you think they went to the spread? But why do you think they went to the spread? Because Mike Singletary can't cover 4 wide receivers, but he can stuff the run. Yeah. So now offense said, let's go spread out. Now they're at a disadvantage. Now you've gone for the past 5, 10, 15 years recruiting oversized safeties to play the Mike backer. Now, guess what? 225 Mike backer. We finna bring this 240, 250 pound fullback up the middle. Let's see how that train wreck look.
Yeah.
Like,
good luck.
You always playing catch up. But however, Cam Newton got in some hot water when he was playing, and the young lady asked him about routes and concepts. And he kind of smirked and laughed, and he said, wow, like women asking about this. How did you take that? Because I have my own opinion. How did you take that when he said it?
So because I know Cam, I think he was saying it like, oh, okay. Like, we have a woman asking real football questions and not just media questions. That's how I took it when I heard it, not hearing the interview, not seeing his body language or whatever, because I feel like it is, when you first hear it, you're like, oh, like this is different. So that's how I took it. But, other people obviously took it other ways. And I think he even came out and apologized.
Of course, we're going to apologize. They're going to make us apologize.
So, but I also want to say this. Sometimes for me, it's twofold. I think obviously I'm a woman, obviously, but I feel like we spend so much time acknowledging that there's a woman that we just don't let it roll. We're always like, oh, for a woman, that's a good question. Oh, for like, why say it? Just let it roll. Just let it, you know what I mean? Just let it go.
It's natural though. But I think it's natural. Really.
But I think it makes it worse because it's almost like when I'm about to tell a joke and I say, don't get offended. you're already on.
No, I get it. I totally understand it. But there's something about it because in society, it's what it is. And it's almost like people are still saying the first black this or the first black that. But they don't say the first Jewish this, the first Jewish that. Right. And we still in 2024 talking about this person is still the first black that. They still waiting for the first black head coach to win the Super Bowl. That's gonna
leave that alone. I'm sick and tired of that. Yeah.
But I'm bringing it up because I hear what you're saying, but I also understand why it's important.
Yeah. Because
there is a certain stigma and stereotype. When I get on YouTube and I watch this 5'3" lady driving an 18-wheeler, whipping it. You know what I'm saying? She whipping it. Like it's like, huh? Because that's something that you have not seen. And that's an arena that maybe when you see someone in a male-dominated space, then that's what it is. Just like if you saw when you saw Venus and Serena or Arthur Ashe in a white-dominated sport, if you see a black jockey on horse racing, you'd be like, huh? What?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it kind of throws you off.
Yeah. I wasn't telling you to leave it alone. I wasn't telling you to leave it alone. What I was saying was I get tired of hearing that. I get tired of hearing the first black man. We're in 2024.
Yeah.
Still talking about the goddamn first black. Come on, man. Like
what does that question say? What made you get into sports? So I come from a sports family.
I'm sorry, excuse me for interrupting. I need you to read the entire statement, please.
Oh, yeah, that's your job. I'm just saying, you read it, I'll answer.
It's your job.
I want you to read the Coach Hayes part.
No,
Coach
go
Hayes,
for it. You got it, love. Go for it.
Really flawed. What made you get into sports? Coach Hayes, I was distracted too with a Popeye sandwich. Really flawed. 2 buns with Hennessy.
2 buns.
All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I got into sports. I've always been into sports. So my parents tell me that when I was like 2, I would sit wherever my dad would, like if he turned on sports, I would find him and sit right next to him and just watch it. So I apparently grew up watching sports. And so it's just fascinating to me. I played basketball when I was little. Then I got heavy into volleyball. And then my high school happened to be really good at football. So I got into it. I'm also Texas Longhorn fan. And Casey Hampton played nose tackle. And then he went on to my favorite NFL team. And so I felt like he was the first guy, like I kind of followed his journey from college to being like in the NFL on my favorite team, making it to the Hall of Fame. And so I just fed off of that. So that's what got me into sports in general, but then football specifically, I feel like it's just always been a thing. And then a little known fact people don't know about me is I also will watch baseball. Like I will watch baseball all day. I don't know enough. Like I'm not as analytical when it comes to baseball because I like to just sit back and enjoy baseball. Not necessarily like kind of probably how you are with the NFL. You just like to watch it. You don't really care about the whatever, but it's cool. But like you want to just watch. Coach's
perspective, but I'm not into the player. There's too much.
Yeah,
business.
that's how I am with baseball. But I'll watch I'll sit and watch a baseball game and I'll enjoy every second of it.
Yeah. It's like basketball for me, right? Like last time I saw the Heat play, y'all don't slap me. LeBron was on the team. That's the last Heat game I saw.
Damn.
It's just one of them things. But no, I thought that was interesting because I did want to bring that up because I agree with you about Cam Newton. I don't think it was about I think it was about a woman, but I think it was more because she was asking an in-depth question about the game and not about something that's just floating on the surface. Well, it was 4th and 1. What decision? Why did you come up with that decision?
Yeah.
Versus you actually got into route concepts and and those are 2nd, 3rd, and 4th level questions that you did not typically hear from women. You don't even hear from the men, let alone women. Even the men reporters don't get that in depth in their questioning because they truly don't know either. Because I've never seen a reporter go sit down in coaches' meetings to learn more about it. Right?
True.
I'm not saying they don't, but what I'm saying is, to your point, at least again, that's the thing with the men. So when you see another woman come in and she get real deep with it, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. All right, I see where you're going. Because he kind of smirked and he laughed like, in my opinion, he was like shocked, but it's like one of those shocked, like, but not being disrespectful. It was like,
I think he was impressed.
Like,
I think he was just kind of like
impressed.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
like all right,
he was like, hold on, what you know about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and again, people take it and run with it because it don't fit. You know, whatever. Go ahead.
If I ever had a chance to talk to Cam Newton too. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna see if y'all remember this the way it really happened. But go ahead.
All right, let's go.
No, you was gonna say something? Oh, really? All right.
No, I was just gonna say Cam Newton would be somebody I would love to talk to because I have questions, I have real questions for him that nobody would ever ask him, but I have questions for him.
I got a funny Cam Newton story from this weekend. I met him before. I've been with him at 7-on-7 tournaments numerous times.
Well, tell him you know somebody that wants to talk to him.
Yeah. I got a funny Cam Newton story from this weekend. But here's
Bunches has seemed to really embrace the physicality of his routes and getting those extra yards. Does that give you a little bit of an enjoyment to see him kind of truck sticking people out there?
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like,
oh, y'all are right. Yeah, y'all are exactly right.
He started smiling.
Bunches has seemed to really embrace the physicality of his routes and getting those extra yards. Does that give you a little bit of an enjoyment to see him kind of truck sticking people out there?
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like,
Yeah, because he probably been asked numerous times from females in those settings. I mean, what do you do to prepare for the game? Like those type of questions. But he got backlash for this, right?
Yeah, almost lost. Somebody say he almost lost his endorsements, and
was it her? Or was it the masses? Was it her that said something?
I think it's the masses and her. I don't know. Go ahead.
That and at the time, that's when Cam Newton had started wearing like, you know, really fancy clothes. Like people started saying like he started to be a different type of guy. So the narrative was already out there about him that anything he did, they were like, so, you know, but again, like only Cam knows what he meant and whatever. But I will say this, he was swift with his apology and he was swift to come out and be like, yeah, all right, I could have been more respectful. Like okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that's more than we get a lot of times.
So do you think that that's a woman in the man's arena, like Hayes say?
Of course.
Should she have to conform? Because that right there is really touchy. That's really touchy. That's really like, God, he didn't even know he was wrong.
What do you mean by her conforming? Conforming to what? Asking basic questions?
The only reason they're saying that is because she's a woman, right? Like if he was a little fat guy who looked like he never played football before, and he looked at him and said, damn, dog, you know a little bit. Nobody would never say nothing.
But my thing is if I'm showing up to do my job and I've been hired to do a job, I'm going to do the job how I think I should do the job.
Yeah, but
it's not my job to manage his responses. You know what I mean? Like if you hired me, if you said like, this is your job really fun, like you're going to come and talk to blah, 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 like, blah, blah, do you like, it's not my job to tiptoe because I don't know what the person I'm asking the question is going to react. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a professional. He gets paid for this. Act accordingly.
But I don't think but again, right. I don't think it wasn't his intent. Think about how many times he's been asked questions from women. And again, over that period of time, you talk about your experiences, right? Why do you not be blunt? Maybe you don't want your key, blah, blah, blah. So his experience was, okay, maybe she's going to ask me a question about, like you said, the weather. Oh, it's raining outside. And she hit him with a bomb. She hit him with a bomb, and he was like, and he kind of smiled like, okay, I see you. And then he was like, it's interesting. And he's like, it's interesting to hear women talk about routes.
Yeah.
Like he didn't say, you don't know nothing about routes. Like he didn't challenge her in what she said. He didn't say, what you're talking about didn't make no sense, man. He didn't say that. He said, ooh, it's interesting to hear women talk about, because it's something you don't typically see.
But not even that. He smiled before she even could finish. He was already smiling. Like, oh,
like, yeah, I see you. Like, yes. I see you.
That's why, to me, him smiling before she even finished the question. But again, it's like, it's weird. It's just it's weird, and all situations aren't created equally, and you know, whatever. But it's weird. Somebody said that I need to answer the question. What question are they talking about? I don't think people were. I can only see one side of the chat, so I can't see.
You can't see the whole thing?
I don't think so. I don't. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll throw them up. I guess we'll throw them up there.
Yeah, I just saw somebody say I didn't answer the question.
I just thought that was a situation. I just thought that was a situation. I see Ellen V is a little touched by it. And I would love to hear it. That lady told LeBron to shut up and dribble. Y'all got mad, but y'all defending this.
No, she was an idiot. That lady was an idiot.
Yeah.
This lady wasn't an idiot.
Shut up and dribble is so much that, and you're talking to, yeah, that's so disrespectful.
Yeah, but it's and I guess LV, I'm with you, baby. You know, it's
I think, but
doesn't know about the routes. I don't think he ever gets those kind of questions. And yes, people do insinuate that because those routes, what she said, the physicality and this or the route, those are in-depth conversations that even men don't even ask. Not all reporters. You got some reporters might ask because you know they got a real background, but for most of them, they're all asking very superficial questions.
Superficial questions. I bet you she was pretty. I bet you she was not drop dead gorgeous. I mean, he thought he was giving her a compliment. And he realized that, hey, I can't be a real person up here. Everybody wants them to be real people, right? But they can't be real people. Yeah, they can't be real people.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I see. Okay, I think the comment was, do you study and break down teams in game film? So no, I do not break down teams in game film. No, absolutely not. But I do study. And I think the way that I study is almost everything else. So I like to study and understand like the statistics of what's happening. And then I like to see what's happening. And then I like to formulate an opinion on what's happening. But I am not an X's and O's woman. Coach Hayes, you know this. I take pride almost sometimes in not being an X's and O's woman because I feel like that's a way to look at the game, but there's other ways to look at the game. And why would I lean into something that I can't do very well as my point of trigger? So I don't. I usually will look at other things.
So really flawed. If we had a show and you ask many football questions and you come up on one of these post-game shows and you call in or you come up here or you ask a question and be like, well, coach, it looked like the 3 technique was getting double teamed here on the gap scheme play. And I'd be like, really flawed. Look at you. What you you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I would think you hate women. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It was just because through our interaction, as you just stated, we've never had that kind of conversation about football. We've had philosophical, maybe scheme, maybe that kind of, but we've never got in depth. And again, there's guys in here that don't know what a 3 technique is or a shade, or they don't know what 30 front. They don't know, and that's okay. But if they said it, maybe I wouldn't be as shocked. But if you said, here we go, to the left. But if you said it, let's see if you come out. Okay, it's good. But if you said it, it would have thrown me back. I would be like, hold up, Flaw, what you? I'd have looked at you like, hold up, man. What, look at you. What you been studying?
Right. Then you got to come on here and apologize.
Yeah.
I just want to say to really flawed and to all women around the world that know what the 3 technique is versus the double team on the gap scheme. I just want to say I apologize if it hurt you, your family, and gave you any discomfort.
I would be like, Coach Hayes hates women. He's anti-woman. He doesn't even want us to learn the game. I'm just kidding.
Nah.
Gerald, you say, will male reporters be allowed in ladies' locker rooms? Y'all think that ever happened?
There's an advantage.
I don't see why it can't happen.
Come on now. Come on. Come on.
Bring them in.
The women reporters, we've seen the weird videos with the women in the men locker room.
Bring them in. Bring them out. Bring them out.
Bring them in.
Next question.
I've never seen women, and I'll put it this way. Let me go back. Men may have been in a women's locker room, but I've never seen a woman in a towel doing an interview.
Oh.
So there may be a segment.
That's a good one. Okay.
There may be a segment or like maybe in that locker room, they may say, listen, ladies, nobody get undressed for the first 10 minutes because we're bringing guys in, blah, blah, blah. But we've seen dudes in the towel sitting in their locker doing an interview with women and men.
Yeah, with shirts off and everything.
They may be in the locker room, but I've never seen them, if you want to call it indisposed, halfway dressed, just getting ready to go in the shower. We've never seen that. So they may be in the locker room, but they may say, hey, reporters, y'all got 10 minutes. And the ladies know, listen, everybody stay dressed for the first 10 minutes. We kick everybody out. Then you go do what you got to do.
Good point.
So that's how I look
Did I
at it.
answer all the questions? Okay. I'm like, stop yelling at me, guys. I'm trying to answer all the questions.
I don't know. Whatever they got, I'm not even looking. That Street got the helmet on. You know, he like to hit his head up against the wall.
Oh,
That's
a few more questions in here.
I think the other thing. Oh, hey, Rawhide.
Rawhide.
Hi, Rawhide. I was going to say the other thing I think that people like, there's so many different ways to talk about and think about sports, and they're all welcome. I just think that so many times we act like this is this is how you talk about sports. Like, I want to talk about all of just sport. Like, how do you see football is not just the quarterback or a receiver, and a lot of people, that's all they focus on. That felt like a shot. I'm not taking a shot, but like, football is about like all 11 people, the people that are start coming in behind those people, the defensive line. Like, I feel like we don't often like talk about it all. We only focus on like certain things. And I think that when you do that, so I always say, as a woman in this space, I am trying.
I'm so glad
I am
you
trying
to laugh.
Like,
I
know that I know football differently than a lot of women know football. And so I want to bring a voice to show women I don't know it all. I don't know all the things about football. There's things I still need to learn, but I'm still going to show up in spaces where men are and talk football the only way I know how to talk football, and then sit back and listen to things I don't understand. And
that's right.
Because I think if more women got involved in watching football and understanding football and learning football, I really think that they would enjoy it. And so a lot of what I try to do too is like, yes. And now if I look at my subscribers and who watches my videos, I have more men watching my videos than women. I got it. But also there's a part of me where I'm like, women, I don't know everything, but I'm still going to show up and talk about what I do know. And when I don't know, guess what? I'm going to say, I don't know. Because that's how more women get involved and get invested. Yeah. It's just to know more and try to figure out more. So
yeah.
Go ahead and read it. You put it up there.
No, I'm laughing. I didn't put it up there. Old helmet man put it up there.
Is that who's controlling this? I should have known.
I put it up here for a reason, because I want you to give it a label. Is this uncomfortable? Is it flattering?
I like to read it after you finish out loud.
Read it? Okay.
Because some people are driving and they're just listening to us, so they're not watching.
Right. So is this comment uncomfortable? Is it flattering? Is it creepy? I want you to put it in a folder. Okay? Go ahead, Hayes.
All right. I'm going to just read this first. And I'm putting the name out there. Juan Manuel Cinco.
Or deep down inside, you really like it, but just never could say it out loud because you just answer it or reflect. Read it, Hayes.
Okay. I became a really flawed fan yesterday, referring to yesterday's show when she called in. The first time I listened to her eloquent, soothing voice, but became a subscriber of her when saw the whole package from Amazon. That is, Amazon, reach out to us. We need a sponsor. I am going to get sent to HR, which is human resources, by Coach. Now, which folder does that go in? Really flawed.
Which folder?
I think that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
Okay, so here we go. Bring them all up, and I'll rate. So I'll let you know where I stand.
Oh, wait, is it a compliment?
It is a compliment.
It is.
It is. Because if you came, so how I'm interpreting this, just because I think that's a good thing to know. If I'm looking at this, it is the first thing they knew of me was how I sounded, and because of that, they wanted to come back and see what the person. So it didn't start of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a compliment.
Okay. All right. So that's not too much.
Okay.
No,
So go ahead, because I want to say this part, but go ahead. No, you're fine.
It's interesting. Like, okay, I've been around, we from Miami. So we've been around beautiful women our whole entire life. They stand on the bus stop. They don't have on any clothes. Anybody from Miami, like, if you're not used to dealing with women or being around women, then you was stuck in the house or something. Or you went to Braddock or something. It is very interesting.
He said Braddock.
It's very interesting to see the frenzy and how men react to a woman being up here with us. And sometimes it almost feels like grade school again.
Yes.
And is this what you guys are getting all day long?
Yep.
So I'm glad you brought this up. I'm glad we segue into this. And that's what I want to say. I know Street asked you a question, but I'm going to ask you.
No, oh, sorry. Can you, while you ask that, can you find another comment so I can rate it? Let's rate those comments.
Okay, Street, all right. Put them in a folder. Let's organize them. Here's what I'll say. Because we talked about that yesterday, you talked about getting certain images and videos and so forth. And I'm glad Street brought this up because, as you said earlier, you started off as a place to vent, maybe just say something. Now you say, hey, I got a lot to say. And I believe that you could, due to your knowledge, as well as your other assets, it could blow up and be big. I really believe that. However, you can't jump in the water and not get wet.
True.
We know, because you said something yesterday, I want to control it as long as I can control it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that when we got off. And
you thought about me when we got off. Okay.
Not really, Flawed. Don't tease me with a good time now. I'm just, I tell you,
drop the crickets.
Listen, I look like Albie Shore, but I'm really Wesley Snipes. I'm trying. So back to what I was saying. As I thought about it last night, I was saying, even at this level, you don't have control. People are going to comment regardless. With how many subscribers you have now?
I would have to go look.
But you know you're over 1,000 because you say you got that part. You just needed the time. So let's just say
I was. So I think at the beginning of today I was like at 708.
So with 708, let's just say 800 subscribers. People already tripping. They sending you videos, images, saying wild stuff.
True.
You're in the water, but you don't realize you wet. From the water, that is. From the water. No, but you're in the water.
Be careful with what you say. I don't realize. Just
No. What I'm saying, you're in the water. The water may not be as deep as you think it is, but you're in the water. Yeah, and what I was saying was, and what I was just simply saying was, not saying that you don't realize it. What I was trying to say was, when I mean you don't realize it, you don't realize you can't control it even in shallow water as well as deep water, because the fiends out here. They here. Once you put your face on, yeah. Once you put your face on here, put your face on here, is there. Shout out to Shy. He was like, "Oh, is this the famous Really Flawed?" I think he's only heard your voice or seen your comments.
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah, but he's never seen your face because I don't think he's been on. I don't think he has been on Rawhide or whatever. I know you go on Rawhide in the show, but I'm just saying.
Shout out to Rawhide.
He sees you in the comments. Maybe you called in last night, so a lot of people now can put a face to a name, you know. And so that's just what it is. And I was saying to myself, as Street is looking these things up, I was saying to myself, how do you think women from Joy Taylor, Champion, Maria, what's her name? Maria Taylor. Everybody's Taylor. That's why I'm confused. And Taylor
Everybody
Rooks,
is like Taylor
everybody's
Rooks, Joy
Yeah,
Taylor,
everybody's
Maria
Yeah,
Taylor.
right, right. That's what I was trying to catch. Okay, I know they deal with that.
Oh yeah. So
Right.
so I think yes, you deal with it. And some days you deal with it better than other days. And
Mhm.
some days you just put your cape on and you see it, but you don't react to it. And if I'm being honest, I wasn't sure how I was going to be and react to it.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure. I mean, I always said I could handle anything. I always said, comments don't bother me, but I honestly wasn't sure.
Mhm.
And so I'm learning too that like I'm fine. Like I can okay, I think like okay, like like you said, gradually I'm like okay, like I think I'm okay. I think I'm
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. And so that's what I was thinking I was like, yeah, you got something here, right? You got something.
And can I just say,
Mhm.
because I've been fortunate, you have all from jump, you've been supportive of me. Like even when I just called in before you even knew who I was, like way back when, you've always been super supportive. And Rawhide has always been super supportive of me.
Mhm.
Rob the Man Media has always been, supportive of me and publicly and loud, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
JTL has always been supportive of me publicly and loudly. The men that I am on panels with have also been supportive of me loudly. And that also matters to women. And I think, and I'm saying all this to say, I also don't think you all as men get enough credit for also realizing how important it is for me to be in the space as well. Because you all have a choice to make too, right? Like you could have very well just been like, what is she doing? Like, what is she, you know what I mean? And you never have been like that to me. And same with other men in the space. And I think that should also be recognized that you all also, even Street, like he doesn't know me from whatever. The very first time I did come up, and I was kind of like going at him in the chat, right? But the first time I came up, he still was like, let me hear what she has to say. And I think we don't applaud that enough. Like we don't applaud the men who are standing on business for the women that are trying to come in this space, for the women that are trying to do those things. I mean, you don't have to shout out my channel ever. Rocky doesn't have to put my channel link in his thing ever. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's just certain men in this space that have also been really good to me and really supportive of me and given me really great feedback. And I appreciate that. So like kudos to you all too, because without you, I don't know if there would be a me. Maybe. I don't know if I would have been stubborn enough to be like, screw that guy. I'm going to show him.
And
right? I don't know.
And I'll say that is proof that what you say and the information you provide is important, because I know I can't speak for Rawhide or any of the other men you spoke of, but I know I wouldn't promote your channel if it wasn't worth it. I wouldn't be so I wouldn't be able, if you were just up there I wouldn't do it. And that's for anybody as well, men and women. But
fair.
What I will do is I will give a person, if they say they have a channel, hey, I can't vet it and I can't endorse it, but I will say, if you call in, hey, I got a channel, hey, y'all go check it out. Don't know nothing about it, but now that I know your channel, I will say, or I would definitely reference some of your content through my arguments. You know what I mean? Like I'll say, hey, I was watching this and Really Flawed told me to keep my sandwich clean and blah, blah, blah. I make sure I do that because I respect the content. If I don't respect the content, again, maybe because I don't respect it doesn't mean somebody here won't. So I'll push people, but I won't endorse it. And so that's why I say
and I just don't think we do a good job And there's been other men in this space also that have shouted me out and given me kudos or whatever. But obviously, like, I can't be everywhere all the time. So there's just certain places that I frequent. And I just don't think men are given enough credit when they are allies and when they are supportive and when they are, you know, a big part of you stepping into what you're really trying to do. I just don't think it gets talked about enough. And I don't want to be dramatic. I don't want to say, like, if you guys wouldn't have been supportive, I wouldn't have done it, but it definitely helped. It was definitely a part of me that said, you know, if these men that have been up here that have done this, that feel it, that live it, that breathe it, and they're listening to me and they're like, yeah, do it. Like, yeah, hello, you know, why not? Why would I not do it? And so anyways, I just say all that to say, like, in a world where women and men sometimes are at odds for whatever reason, I don't think we do enough showing each other love for the support that we get from each other. And so I just wanted to make sure that I said thank you and I showed love and support because you all have showed love and support to me. So.
No, I totally agree. Real quick, Street, before we get to that part, I just want to give I know we got this dono, but I just want to say this quickly because people do it and don't realize it. Shot-Town says, just subscribe, really flawed. Love seeing women own their confidence. And so I'll be checking in. And then shout out to Clark, a lady that says, just subscribe to Really Flawed because I love when other women know their sport. So the identifier of women, I don't think is never going to go away. Like, I knew that because you know how you said earlier, why can't it just be? It's just what it is because you're walking in a male dominated space.
Right.
And that's just really what it is.
Right.
But go ahead, Street.
Oh no, I was just starting them. I got a few of them.
Okay.
There's one.
She's proof that you don't need it. Go ahead and read it.
She's proof that you don't need a BBL, just some good old collard greens, hot water, and cornbread. We'll put it in the folder. It's respectful. That makes you feel creepy. Are you smiling inside? You just can't tell nobody. Put it in the folder.
No, that's funny.
That's funny?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, Street, she's probably the wrong person to ask about these because most of them are going to be funny. But go ahead.
This reminds me of Foxy Ladies where I go to watch sports and watch boobs.
Foxy Ladies is a strip club in Miami, so you just know context.
So basically, I look like a stripper. Thanks.
Put it in the folder.
No, that was. I think that was funny too. I mean, I didn't know what Foxy Ladies was, so I didn't laugh as hard. But that one's not bad.
Shout out to Foxy Lady. That's the first shake I've been to. But anyway, 16 years old, carrying a drink.
You have flashbacks.
Still remember.
I'm just saying, Really Flawed got them at attention like it's middle school.
That's actually flattering.
Okay.
Because I have to tell you this, we don't have creeps on I don't think we have creeps on our show. Or I will say this, I think, and I'm not trying to boast, but I think there's a certain standard that we kind of set that guy. But when you post something and a guy can randomly do it, they're gonna light you up. It's just what
That's
it is.
fair.
Just,
yeah.
That's fair. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Street. What else you got?
That's it. I think last night was there's a one.
No, this is I put this the latest one. Reggie for the $5 says, really flawed. If you were the commissioner of the WNBA, how would you promote your league? I think that's a great question.
That is a really good question. So I think I would do out of the box things. I think it would be cool to find some way to partner with to partner with the NBA a little bit more. I don't know how or what that looks like. But like what I'm thinking of is sometimes closeness to sport or a 2-for-1 sport deal is sometimes easier for people to digest. So like it'd be cool if like there's a women's game, and then after the women's game was over, like the men, because the men they're in like summer league right now or something. Like I feel like there's a way that you can like partner with the NBA. But I also here's the thing I will also say. I don't see a lot of promotion for the WNBA just in my daily life. So I honestly don't even know what they're doing now. So dare I say I would just promote it more? I mean, I don't really see. I mean, I'm on YouTube. I'm on different like I don't even see their promotion right now.
They don't even geo-track you. Like if I've typed in WNBA on my Google and everything, and you know how when you do that on Google, say you put a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Man, that thing will come on your Facebook, your Instagram, your this. I've typed in WNBA quite a bit, and it doesn't show up anywhere else on any other platform, on anything else. So they don't even geo-track you well. And if we had to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and I had to name the teams, I don't even know how many teams there are, I would be at work tomorrow.
Saying. Yeah.
I would be
like, I have to go search for WNBA content. So my answer would be I would promote the league. I would be everywhere. And I think the women that want to be sexy and promote it and do the things, I put them out there. Give them something to do. Let them shoot a sexy WNBA photo shoot. Let them I would lean into that. I don't see anything WNBA and I search for it and then I still don't see it come back to me after I've searched it.
How do you do that as the NBA, right? Either you're Hugh Hefner, right? And or either you're Playboy or you're a professional. Like, how does the NBA walk up to Candace Parker and say, "Hey, Candace, we're trying to get a little more daring this weekend. You mind wearing a thong?" And for the
no, I think so as a woman, as women know what their limitations are of sex appeal. Mm-hmm. As a woman, right. you know what you will do and what you won't do. I'm sure there's women in the WNBA that will do things that other women won't do because now they're starting to show them when they walk into the arena. And now they're starting to show, what their pregame attire looks like. And what's happened, a lot of women have stepped up what they're wearing as they walk into the game because they know they're going to be on camera. So it's like, what to do. They're just not, I just don't see it. Like, I just, what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
They should have like a team, like a recon team or something like a host role or like, hey, who wants to be sexy, right? And it's a group of them.
Well, we probably won't. I mean, we probably won't call it that, but something like that. I also would ask those women, hey, what kind of ideas do you have? Like, how many subscribers? Like, they have so many people as followers, 500,000, 750,000, 1 million. Ask them. Go look at if they're putting it out on their Instagrams, I'm sure they're willing to take a little bit of money from WNBA to do something for the WNBA. Why not?
I don't know how much the money they're making. Like, shout out to Caitlin Clark, but I never want to see her walking heels ever again. She looked like man. She walking like she had bad knees. Yeah, she's like, Lord, I hate these things. My pinky's on fire right now. But no, but I think there is certain things that they can do to promote it. Right? They could do cameos in somebody's music video. They can do so much stuff,
all kinds of stuff.
And if I see that WNBA, I'm suing. Come holler at your boy, Coach Hayes Football. We got you. Coach, I'm sorry.
There's a disconnect.
We're not Coach Hayes Football anymore. We're Coach Hayes Consultants, right? CHC. So I'm just saying, like, there's so much to do.
They're not pushing. They're not pushing like they should. But I want to go back to what you were saying about coming up here and us actually listening to you and want to hear your side. It's because I realized the Cavendish twins. That's funny. She's dating Carson Beck from Georgia, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
The Cavendish
Hope
twins.
they break up the week they play Texas.
He had Carson Beck with a hat on the other day. It's because I realized that nobody's crazy. Like David Chappelle once said when he came back from Africa, that crazy is a dismissive term. People say crazy when they don't understand something.
That's right.
Nobody's crazy. I'm willing to listen to anybody's perspective because nobody's really crazy. You could sit Charles Manson down and ask him why he did what he did, and he will give you an answer.
Yeah.
everybody have their own perspective and the way they see things, and a lot of times it's shaped just from where they're from. And I have empathy from some people when they haven't seen much. They don't know much. They haven't really read a lot. They haven't got around. So they don't have a broad perspective on things. So no, I mean, I'm willing to listen to, because I don't think, we always say it all the time, man, women are crazy. It's jokingly, right? Nobody's crazy. Everybody just sees things from their own bubble. And I think it's interesting to hear instead of assume.
Agreed. I totally agree. I agree with you, Street. You know, you talk about Charles Manson. I've always said this. He ain't crazy. You wanna know why? Because he tried to hide his actions.
Yeah.
Crazy is when you take them dead bodies and sit them at the dinner table and having dinner with them and inviting people over. And now you crazy. Now I'm just straight up. But to your point, you're right. And that's what makes a difference. Everybody's experience, right? That's just why, you know, when I go through these different shows and I talk about other teams and they, oh, coach, you hate it, because I'm looking at it through a different lens than they are. Somebody just told me I'm looking at this other team because I got 55-year-old eyes. Damn, they done added 10 years to your boy. But that's because I don't see it. I don't see it the way they see it. But they also, I'm only assuming they haven't had the same experiences that I've had. So
yeah, you're right.
You know, and that's just what it is.
That's true.
You know, it doesn't mean you're right or wrong. It's just that's how I see it. And that's how.
And that's why I was saying we have to start listening, and not listening to respond, but like listening to understand the perspective. Because even if I don't agree, I can still at least understand your perspective. It doesn't mean I have to say, oh yeah, you're right. It just means that I can say, okay, from that perspective, that makes sense. Okay. Like I see where you're going with that.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say this: Falcon TRX for the 305. You got a whole 305 up now. Come on.
Absolutely not.
Come on now.
We do it all the time. I don't even know how to do it.
I don't have to do anything.
See, that you're using your femininity. See how it works in your favor? At least just hold a 3. Just hold a 3 up. You can hold a 3 up.
No. I'm only holding up a 10 or a hook'em.
A what?
A 10.
Oh, hook'em. My bad. I heard something else.
Okay.
But that leads me right into this. Why do you think Falconer wants the Cavender twins in the WNBA? First question I have for you. Do they have the talent to play in the WNBA?
No, but they're sexy as hell.
There you go. Point clear. Hey, case closed. God bless. Good night. We'll see y'all next week. And that right there proves the exact point of women using their femininity.
Why
and
what you do like women? Like, what was that?
Because women
using
fight it because they want to fight it. They want to fight. For some reason, women. No, you got to lean back and do that because that's how I did it. I lean back and do it like I did. Women use their femininity, but then they want to fight and say, no, hear me roar. I get it. Ain't nothing wrong with you roaring. But what
I think I'm at a place in life where I kind of want to do both.
Yeah.
Like I want to do, like I want to roar when I want to roar, and I want to set back when I want to set back.
And the second one, thank you, Falconer 305. NBA players dress to impress and look sexy.
NBA.
Numerous times, Hayes.
Hold on, I got a Bishop. I think we missed oh, here we go. Bishop. Put this one in the folder. Bishop. Bishop. Frank. Hey, Bishop Frank. Dr. Newkirk.
From the house of the Lord.
She's a bread. Owls. Salute, horns down. How do you? What folder do you put that in?
For the horns down, disrespectful.
He is an Oklahoma fan. Yes, he is an Oklahoma fan. But you're gonna skip over the brick house, huh?
The first comment, respectful. I'll take that any day of the week. The back half, disrespectful.
All right, because you're a different cut.
I am, and that's so okay.
That's
So
why I told
also,
Street. I said she might agree with all these. Like it's cool.
yeah. So I also think though that like I've almost heard it all, and so I don't know what would actually, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't like.
So let me ask you then, what comment have you received that you felt that was disrespectful, that you can remember? It don't have to be verbatim, but what was something that came on your channel? Because I don't think any of the guys on here they ain't gonna go that far. They'll say little things.
Yeah, I've had people say like it would be nice if you could sit on it. It like
you talking about the chair. You talking about the chair.
Yeah, like how are your gag reflexes?
Because he was making sure you don't choke when you eat. When you eat like at a restaurant, he was making sure that you don't choke.
So like to me that I think I just distinguish though the difference. I think the difference is if you're talking about me and how I look, I don't think I would get offended for anything. I think if you're taking it to like a sexual act, I'm like, what? Like, so maybe that's how I would classify it. So like, if you're just like anything about looks or things like that, I probably like whatever. But anytime it kind of takes that next step where you're like, excuse me, that's where I feel like it's a little bit different for me.
How about this one? Just hashtag Hawk Tool. How do you take that?
1.1 million followers.
I am on record of stating a comment on how I feel about that, and I will let that be where it is.
So do you agree with her follow-up after she said Hawk Tour?
Oh, I didn't. What was the follow-up? Y'all only played that video. Yeah, no, that's what I was agreeing with. Remember, I was in the comment section, and Street was like,
I just want to make sure. No, I just want to make sure that your view didn't change, because with new information, your opinions can change. So I just want to make sure from yesterday till today, your view ain't changed. I just making sure. All right. Reggie for the $5.
She don't want to say it sitting here, but you get brave behind that keyboard, don't you?
It was what it was. That's
that
old
keyboard.
news.
And Reggie for the $5 says Carson told the Calvin the twin, act like you got on some skates.
That's my song.
Act like you got on some
skates. Yeah, well, drop that song.
You ain't ready for it. It's not even on this one.
Oh, terrible.
But those are the things that when people Juan Manuel Cinco says Calvin the twins are sexy as hell. When Really Flawed says it gets me excited to play. Thoughts before did that go in?
I didn't catch it at first. Okay, this is a good one though. This is a good example. If that smiley face wasn't in there, this would have been a comment where I would have been like, but the smiley face almost made it like pause and breathe and then the rest. So, but also I can tell when they were typing that that person made a specific decision to put that emoji in there to lessen the blow of that comment.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So strategically done.
Mm-hmm. And therefore, it was fine. But
now Falconer, he dropped a $30 right there. So let's go ahead and y'all clap it up for Falconer.
If somebody, I just want to say this.
I got a perfect one. Do me a favor. Oh. I'm gonna hold up a 3, hold up a 0.
No, I'm not clapping again.
Hold on. 3, just hold up a 0 for me, really. And no, just a 5, Street. All we need is a 5 from you. Just a 5 from you, Street.
No.
Hold up a 0. Just a 0.
No. 0. So you want me to hold up an Ohio 0?
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Hold up the 5, Street. Hold up the 5. Right. We got 3005. There you go.
There we go. 3005.
Yeah, 3005. Shout out to you. I saw what you did too, fixing yourself in that seat. Come on. I saw that.
That was the 00.
She was showing off.
Oh.
Hey, that was at 3:05.
See?
Shout out to
I'm a
Talking
team
to Jared.
player.
He says, as a father of 3 impressive daughters, I learned women want respect for their talent, but also gain confidence and self-esteem from positive attention from men for their beauty. It's complicated, but true. How do you feel about that?
I think that's true. I think that's true. Because I think, like, if you take the time and make the effort, absolutely, you want absolutely.
We all know where this comment. Put if I'm going to back up, but we know where this comment comes from. Lord Jesus, how you feel about that? Hold on, how you feel about that? Really?
I welcomed that in, so it's fine.
Okay, so based on the context, Lord Jesus seems innocent.
Yeah.
Oh, but we know what it means. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. All right.
If anybody wants to see my whole outfit, send $150 and I'll show you.
Lord Jesus.
$150.
$150 and I'll show you my whole outfit.
Thursday or Friday? Let's see, is it Friday or Thursday? Some of y'all get paid on Thursday.
Hold on, I need to be give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Go.
I think you guys can handle it without me, but we'll see when I get back. I still have my AirPod in this, so I can still hear you.
Hold on, I got you out the way.
$150, and she says she's showing everything. It'd be funny if she got a long dress down to her ankles.
All I'm gonna say is, Lord Jesus. Well, when she get back, we'll wrap this thing up. This was a great show, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Street, we done broke a record, man. But I think it was a great conversation. It was open. It was honest. Like I said, one thing I like about it, she does articulate herself well in regard, not because she's a woman, but she does articulate herself well in her thoughts. And again, not afraid of the tough questions or the hard questions. So I love it, man. And get your I don't see how ready, and we will go from there. So I got my own. Well, I don't have my I don't see how ready. I don't think. Oh, I do got an I don't see how ready.
I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna wait till she get back. We'll do the I don't see how.
She said she was going last, though, huh?
Yeah.
You ain't got another dono.
We got uno más. Mr. Telephone Man. There's something wrong with my line. When I call really flawed, she skipped it every time.
What
there
the hell did I come back to?
Oh, my bad. I didn't know you was here. Oh, what happened? See, now you got everybody looking to see the differences. See what I'm saying? They're like, okay, what she changed? What she changed?
I didn't change anything.
You got everybody looking like,
no, my alarm, my thing was going off. It was beeping. I don't know if anybody could hear it, but it was beeping.
All right. And here we go. We got
have to stand up here. You know she wouldn't put on some girl.
Falcon X.
Falcon
Hey, hold up. Hey, Street, take me out, Street.
That's a like I'm like,
hey, Street.
That was really quick, though.
But that's why I tell people that, like, stop putting all women are not the same. You know what I mean? Like, all women are different, and I don't understand why people don't get it, that we're not all the same. There's an assumption that we're all the same. We all like the same things. We all talk the same. Like, we don't.
No, ChatGPT, I asked ChatGPT, why women blah, blah, blah. And ChatGPT said, be careful not to put all women in the same. ChatGPT told me that back, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. It was like, be careful not to put all women in the same box. People are different, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, okay.
Shout out to Falcon X for another $10. Only one of 3 guests wearing a V-neck. A V-neck got a line in it.
Fucking amazing, dog. This is what women streamers are getting, dog. Could you imagine those women that's playing the video games and they got half their titties out and they
bro?
Could you imagine what's going on?
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, here's a perfect one. Where does that go when we don't ask them questions?
No, that ain't it.
No, I'm saying what folder did that go in?
What was the boxes? What was the
whatever folder? You got a blank folder. You got on the tab, but what category you want?
Disrespectful? Is it distasteful? Is it creepy?
Distasteful.
It's distasteful?
Yeah. Because if I had an OnlyFans, I would have said that.
Oh.
Right? Like, I've been up here for 2.5 hours. You think if I had an OnlyFans, I wouldn't have been like, my OnlyFans is this? Like, make sure to go to the highest tier. It'll give you everything you're looking for.
Oh, you know they have tiers, huh? I didn't even know they had tiers.
I'm sure everything has tiers.
The only tiers I know of when I try to get in, I can't. That's where my tears come from. I got to pay how much?
I know that's
anyway,
right.
I got you. I don't see how ready. Street, you got your I don't see how first?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's rock with it.
Brought you by IOD Squad, Invest or Die, man. If you ever thought about investing, we get in the Discord every day. We put out plays, give you stocks every day, every morning. We put out option plays. Talk crypto. So 786-405-9499. Just text us IOD, man, and we'll send you the link to get in IOD Squad. So the Hot Tour girl in about a week got 100, got 1 million followers. She was in Miami. They were celebrating her. I don't even know how fame happened that fast. 1.1 million. Got a documentary coming out, all type of shit. So usually have copycats, right, Hayes?
That's right.
Yeah, you usually have copycats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Girl said, spit on that thing. That's boring. I'm farting on it. Exactly. Speak to him, Toothless. I'm farting on it.
Everybody got quiet. Quiet. Bro, where did she think she was going with that? She has to be a comedian or something.
Dog, people throw stuff against the wall to see if it stick, dog. Like, that's a perfect example of I'm finna piggyback off of something that was organic and you tried too hard, in my opinion. And I just had to hit her again.
I overdosed today on Really Flawed today. Hey, listen, we are not as interesting as we thought we was, bro.
No, dog. Nobody cares about football. Yeah, we could have been talking about asparagus for 2.5 hours.
I think that you guys are interesting. It's just there's certain things that you can't compete with.
That's what we've been saying for 2 days.
See, and that's what I learned. That's what I learned.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah. Here's my I don't see how.
Okay, right.
Shout out to the homie. He's gonna make the cameo on my new intro. For the Kane show. Shout out to my dog right here. Act like you got on some skates.
Why nigga stomach just rumble? Had to fuck with the Haitians and break a kilo to crumbles. Nigga living there.
I can't play the music because dog, we about to get demonetized. We all right. Watch this. Look at my dog got no skate. Act like he got on some skates. Watch this. Check my dog out. Oh
Lord.
Rick Ross, how you got the doggone, bro? How you got the doggone the little trainer thing and you still fall, but he kept the rose up. Look at him. You know he going on. Act like you got on some skates 2024 season. We putting that in the intro right now.
That is funny.
So shout out to Rick Ross in the building. That's where we are right now. And lo and behold, Really Flawed, you are not our first guest, but you are the first guest to give us.
I am the first guest.
No.
Yes, I was the first person y'all had up the first time.
Oh, was she?
Remember?
I think she was.
Street said, this is our first guest.
I think she was.
Damn, she sure is. Okay. So I don't see how. You know what that is, that you're the first guest to give an I don't see how. Not our first guest, but the first one to give I don't see how. What is your I don't see how?
Put it up there. My I don't see how is how in the F did you invite me on this show and you not have me in the thumbnail? How in the F? I don't see how you invited me to this show and you do not put me in the thumbnail. That is disrespectful.
Oh, don't worry about it. You're gonna get clipped and put right on that billboard right now. You and the Amazon packages.
And
So I am very, so I don't see how. Yeah, what the F? Like, perfect opportunity. Sex sells, but you use them and not me. Hello. So I don't see how you thought that was a good idea. That's mine.
Yeah, I gotta talk to the creative team, the thumbnail team. I gotta talk to the thumbnail team on their thumbnails, and I don't see how you came on here with that dang on sweatshirt first. I don't see how. But anyway,
Are you gonna give me a cute little video that's like, and this is how she started, and this is how she finished?
Yeah. Okay.
But also, I just want to say, like, first, thank you both for inviting me on, trusting me to have like a good conversation. I appreciate you. And I did just look at YouTube, and it looks like I have 725 subscribers now. So, what is that?
Come on, there's 217 people in there. It's 217 people. Oh. This is all we asking. The link is pinned to the top. Come on, y'all. Come on, dog. Come on. Great show. 2.5 hours. Let's get her monetized, right? Let's help her get monetized. She does the work, but let's spread the love. Think about it. We asking to support each other on a free cause. Go press the button, dog. Come on, it costs you nothing. It's free. Free 99.
And then just watch the content in the background. And you know what? I guarantee you, if you watch all 206 of my videos, there will be a video that you do like. I can promise you there will be one video that you watch that you will say, you know what? Okay.
No, we got you. We got you. And we definitely be talking when it happens. Thank you, Miss Geniality. Look at that. Women helping women. Hey, Reggie, 10 minutes. Bottom right corner. Matter of fact, Reggie, we're going to the locker room next. We're going to the locker room in the Discord next. You got 10 minutes. Geniality in the building. She said, just subscribe. So look.
Thank you.
There you go. That's awesome. All right.
Well, thank you for having me.
No, anytime. We all gonna get out of here at the same time. So with that being said, Street, anything you like to say before we close this deal out, man?
No, bro.
What you used to say?
Sweatshirt 24, or no? We're past the sweatshirt now. We moved on.
No,
shirts off. Shirts off. 3 minutes. Everybody shirts off 3 minutes. So, shit.
Now we got uniform standards. Now, when you come on here, we got uniform standards. Hayes gonna type it up. We're gonna give it to you. We bring our A game on Hayes Street. We don't bring our A game, our D game, whatever game.
Listen, here's the funny thing, though. Really. We even flew you out on the private jet. We all the way in the U.S. Virgin Islands right now. Look at this scenery behind you.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I need it.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. No, but it was a good show. Great insight. We have a good time. With all that being said, again, y'all, it's 213 people in the building. Make sure, and again, we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, or X, whatever it's called now. But make sure you guys go over. It's free. It's pinned at the top here on YouTube on the channel. Make sure you go over there, hit the button. It's free. Let's get us to 1,000 subscribers, and 4,000 watch hours will get you monetized, if that's what it still is. But that'll definitely make it happen. And with all that being said, we out of here, man. See y'all on the next go round. And don't be afraid to be great. I guess that's what it is. We out of here.
Or sexy.
Last
don't
thing.
Be afraid to be sexy.
Last thing. Footballville mama so strong, she was the engine in the Amazon truck that brought really flawed her package. Peace.